All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. I don't know what happened to the stream. I don't know why it started buffering like that. But we got the camera back on. We got the camera back on. Let's see. We're gonna wait for some people to come in here. Some people to come get back. I have no idea why the stream shut down and it started buffering. I got a small idea, but we're back. We're back. Okay, so where were we? We got Water Sniper. He's first back in the building. Where were we? We were talking about. We were talking about. we got. We got Morris Deacon Anthony says 1 year suspension is much too harsh. If you ask me, it looked like your boy Ime Udoka got off easy with a 1 year suspension. But where were we? We were finishing up on the checking in because we needed a certain YouTuber. We need a certain YouTuber to check in because this certain YouTuber, he's on the verge of getting doxxed and exposed. And we know when we see Negroes dealing with in the adult entertainment industry business or dealing with pornography, they're interviewing porn stars, both females and males, a whole lot leaves to be desired. So we know there's going to be something on that docs report, and the team is working on it. There's a team out there that I don't have any control of. They find your information. Once they find your information, they send it to guys like me. They send it to guys like Uncle Shug. They send it to the Cookie Monster. They send it to the Rude Dip, or they send it to whatever content creator could best utilize said information that's gonna be used to dox you. And unfortunately, a lot of dudes in this space, they have dirty backgrounds. Now, there's a lot of dudes in this space who like to violate underage teddy bears. They got all kind of sex crimes on their record. And if you got crimes like that, that could spell the end of your YouTube career. But let's get back to what your boy Platinum Elite is on the table, what could potentially be exposed. Let's see if we can pull up right here. So we know your boy Platinum Elite. You know he likes to film porn stars or whatever, and here is him in a hotel room. That's right. He's in a hotel room with nobody other than Pinky herself. Let's get right to it.
That you felt like this
The
motherfucker
first
ain't gonna never
time
come.
I shot with Mandingo,
Mm-hmm.
I really had to like walk off because I didn't know if I was gonna cry, throw up, or pee myself. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
so like, but
Damn.
it's like from behind, so she licking my ass while I'm tit fucking her. So that was kind of crazy. It felt kind of wet and gooey, but it was cool.
It's like to me, you would rather fuck the women than get fucked. I mean, is that? Am I picking that
That's
up right?
not true at all.
Do you like achieve an orgasm, or is it?
Nah.
But you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Like Cherokee, um, Janet Jack me,
Okay. You went old school.
Melrose Fox.
Yeah, I like that Melrose Fox.
Yeah, I like
man.
her too.
She up and coming, man. I like that.
But you know,
So I'm saying the dick size though. If a guy know how to work his dick,
no, the size don't have nothing to do with it.
anything but a soft dick. You said that was just something. That was just
Wow.
that's
I
just
did.
that's the
I don't
issue.
remember saying that, but that sounds just.
You know, that's one thing about you, Pinky, and I picked that up the first time I met you. You're a very intelligent person,
Thank you.
and a lot of people though, they get it twisted. because they see you getting it in, on camera. Because you can hold your own, with these. Well, I don't know where they get these guys from or whatever, but you can hold your own with these guys, But you ain't you ain't no, you know what I'm saying, some bimbo or whatever. You really know this business.
Stop. Time out. Stop the show. Stop the show. So your boy Platinum Elite is on here simping for porn stars, making porn stars, calling them intelligent, they're intellectual, they're the next Albert Einsteins, and people, look down on Pinky because she's a porn star. But your man's Platinum Elite, he could see the intelligent side of her, even though she's on set and making all these videos with all these kind of guys. And according to Platinum Elite, he doesn't know where they find these guys from. But when you part of the game, when you part of the game industry, Platinum Elite, we gotta ask ourselves. You are in the room with Pinky in a hotel room. It looked like, because I see the phone, I see the bed sheets, I see the lamps, I see the pictures in the bed. We are in a hotel room. Platinum Elite, with all that game you got, and how dudes are supposed to be, getting themselves some pussy, fucking these bitches, as you say, Platinum Elite, and we see you in a room with Pinky. The brothers is gonna ask, did you get the smash, or was you just the simp holding up the camera wishing he was doing the smashing? That's what the brothers is gonna ask you, Platinum Elite. And when you put this on tape right here,
Average dude, somebody like you, you're not fucked up enough. He's not gonna be able to fuck you for long. That's just normal. It's not normal. The normal motherfucker, you get 10 minutes of fucking.
and they see you taking pictures and interviewing Pinky. If you didn't smash, your credentials need to be called into question. But here's your boy Platinum Elite taking pictures with Pinky. Oh no, is that what your boy Platinum Elite looks like? Let me back it up. Is that what your boy Platinum Elite look like? Is that what your boy Platinum Elite look like? Hold on, I got to blow it up and make it bigger. I got to blow it up and make it bigger so people can see. Is this why your boy Platinum Elite didn't cam up? Because he's out here with 4XL t-shirts on, with the super baggy jean shorts on, and he know if he came on camera looking like this in the year 2022, he would have some explaining to do if this is what Platinum Elite looks like. Oh, say it ain't so. I know he not going out like this, Platinum Elite. I know Platinum Elite can't be going out like this. This is why you got to check in, Platinum Elite, because we got to get to the bottom of this. We got to figure out what's going on. Is this you? We know it's you because we hear your voice. People, we try to come up with an understanding. How are you interviewing porn stars while they get ran through? Let's play this some more. So they appears to catch a glimpse of Platinum Elite in one of these videos in which you was recording and they got your reflection, so you can't say the dude on that cover isn't you, because when you was recording at all these different events, you didn't take precautions of the reflections, and the reflection shows same body type, same type of outfit, that this has to be you. It just has to be you, Platinum Elite. I mean, they got your whole reflection. And now you got other YouTube channels that's using the same logo with 800 subscribers, the South Source. So now we got to go to the South Source YouTube channel and do some investigation. You want all these these porn DVDs. They even found some old tweets by your boy Platinum Elite. That's right, them old Twitter accounts. He didn't use a burner account. Oh, let me tell these Negroes about them old Twitter accounts, because them old Twitter accounts can be so dangerous to somebody's reputation. In fact, a prominent member in the NBA, a head coach by the name of Doc Rivers, he was trending one day on Twitter because, according to his Twitter account, he was liking adult rated material. So there's a lot of brothers out there, back when Twitter was what came out, and you just made your Twitter account and you really didn't pay attention to what you was doing on Twitter. There's a lot of you dudes out there. You'd like to partake in some adult rated material. Now, up to this point, all of the adult rated material that you have liked, it has been, the porn material of the heterosexual taste. But there's going to come a day where a Negro in this space, when we bring up his old Twitter, that old Instagram, that burner Instagram, that we could link him to his government name, we will see a content creator who has liked and who is following and who is commenting on adult rated material that isn't all heterosexual, and you will be exposed, and you're going to have some explaining to do. You're going to have some explaining to do why you are liking adult rated material with trans people. You're going to have to explain how you like an adult rated material with thug hunters. And I don't want you brothers to be in that position. It's already bad enough that Doc Rivers was in that position, having to explain what he's doing, like in adult rated material and commenting on stuff on Twitter. So you brothers out there, you got to be mindful of your digital footprint, because it can be used against you. Your Uncle Kevin Samuels, he tried to teach you brothers about your digital footprint, but for whatever reason, you don't want to listen. Let's get back to this right here. Let's get back to the end of this video before we get into the main topic. Now we got these old tweets. You got your boy Platinum Elite under the Who Hustler. You got these old tweets, and it looks like it looks like it looks like there's nothing controversial, nothing to be exposed out here. This is all the way back in 2012, before Platinum Elite ever thought he was gonna go on YouTube. He still didn't delete it. Now my team of investigators are digging through old tweets from 10 years ago. They can and will be used against you. Now we got Platinum Elite at the AVN convention. Let's get it.
Okay. Now, are you nominated for anything? Are you out here to get an award?
I have 9 nominations. Plus, I'm getting.
Wait, say that again?
9.
9 nominations.
I have 9 this year. Last year I had 10, and the year before that I had 18.
And this is the AVN, right? This is the big. This is Big Willie, right? Because I mean, this ain't the law. You know what I'm saying? They got
Stop the show. Stop the show. Now, I don't know where y'all Negroes is from. Hold on. I gotta get back to screen, bro. I do not know where y'all Negroes is from. But interviewing other male porn stars about what they do in the industry and the awards that they have been nominated for. Where I'm from, this is what we call a no-no. This is what we call a big red flag. This is what we call suspect. When you are interviewing male porn stars and asking them about awards that they have been nominated for what their eggplant did on said video. This is suspect. This is something that upstanding black men should not be doing, but we see it right here. Your boy is comfortable interviewing male porn stars at the AVN because this is the so-called Big Willie, as Platinum Elite said.
Nominations.
I have 9 this year. Last year I had 10, and the year before that I had 18.
And this is the AVN, right? This is the big. This is Big Willie, right? Because I mean, this ain't the law. You know what I'm saying? They got the other things out there. You know, they look.
Imagine talking to a male porn star and you say this is the Big Willie. You see how suspect the language is?
I had 10, and the year before that I had 18.
And this is the AVN, right? This is the big. This is Big Willie, right? Because I mean, this ain't the law. You know what I'm saying? They got the other things out there. You know, they lulers.
There's another one.
Now your boy Platinum Elite, he said long, he said little. It looks like he was referencing other men's eggplant sizes. This is highly suspect right here. This is highly suspect. This is what your boy Platinum Elite put on tape.
This is the AVN, right? This is the big. This is Big Willie, right? Because I mean, this ain't the law. You know what I'm saying? They got the other things out there. You know, they lulers.
There's another award show too.
You ain't. I am.
Urban X Award.
You're not. I'm not.
You can't forget about that because that's important.
Alex, I'm not. I mean, you're not. I am. But I'm not. You can't. Well, that's a whole different story. But no, I'm just saying.
I'm up for dying.
No, brother. This is a big deal. 9 awards at the AVN. This is the top of the ladder. That's a big feet, you know, and because it's porn, you know, I mean, you ain't gonna get.
I guess I'm used to it, man. Like, you know, like I understand that not a lot of us, like that code this skin color, even get nominated. So, you know, I'm privileged to be one of those dudes that consistently gets nominated.
Stop the show. Now we got black men celebrating the fact that they're being nominated like white men in the porn industry. We got Gabe. He says, didn't know they clown Macbone for gushing over a male porn star on Sister George's panel. This is a whole different level. That's right, gay baby. These dudes are out here gushing over male porn stars. He's not gushing over a female porn star. He's not talking about the nominations that Pinky got, that Melrose got, that Lacey got, that Cherokee the Ass got, or your favorite so-called black female porn star. He's not interviewing none of them, laughing and giggling, talking about what's too big, what's too long, what is little, what they got in the back. I mean, this is what your boy Platinum Elite is putting on tape.
I understand that not a lot of us, like that cold skin color, even get nominated. So I'm privileged to be one of those dudes that consistently gets nominated.
See, this is what we call black male empowerment. This is black male empowerment. This is the content y'all brothers like, when black men are out here kicking down doors and now they're part of the adult entertainment industry and they're being taken seriously like their white male counterparts. But as we can see by this video right here, it says paperwork on the way. So once they find where you come from, now they're going to pull up that paperwork on you. And when they pull up that paperwork on you, Platinum Elite, because I have no idea what they might find. I don't have a clue what they might find when they pull up your background, Platinum Elite. All I know is Platinum Elite hasn't checked in, and Platinum Elite, you needs to check in. You needs to pay for your protection, because if not only you got to explain what's on that video right there, now you got to explain what could potentially be found in a background report, criminal history, lawsuits, tax liens, parking tickets, traffic tickets. Now you're going to have to explain all of that, all because you didn't check in. You see, if you would have had already checked in, Platinum Elite, I would have never ran that video. When somebody sent it to me, I would have just looked at it. I would have made a little note and said, oh, this is Platinum Elite. Has Platinum Elite checked in? Oh, Platinum Elite. Oh, he's checked in? Okay. There's no need to do a reaction to this video. But now I did this video. Since you didn't check in, Platinum Elite, I'm going to lead with that video. This video is going to get close to 1,000 views. There's 88 people watching right now. There's people who had no idea Platinum Elite was caught up in the business, giggling over another black male porn star like that. Now they gonna do their homework. Now you're gonna have the whole space doing homework on you. This is why you check in. There's somebody out there who knows your name. There's somebody out there who knows what you do in the dark. And to keep that on the hush hush, you gotta check in. You see, your boy Rudim, he was checking in for a long time. He checked in. But he didn't check in to Uncle Suge. He didn't check in to the Cookie Monster. And when Cookie Monster said you got 24 hours to do such and such, in other words, you got 24 hours to check in, Rudep decided not to check in, and he got hit for it. This is why you got to check in. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic because it kind of coincides with Platinum Elite just displayed on that video. And it seems like a lot of BMs, they lack dick discipline. They cannot be discipline with their eggplants. And now, as we can see, cooperations, organizations, sports teams are now dick policing you Negroes because you Negroes still don't get it. You still don't get it. I'm on social media. I'm at work because I referee. I'm at work. I'm hearing brothers talking all this nonsense about what Ime Udoka did. Ime Udoka chose to cheat on his wife. He chose to break company policy and deal with a female staffer who is an underling. He chose to deal with a female staffer, from what I understand, is married to somebody else, a high-ranking official in the front office. This is what your boy Ime Udoka decided to do. And I'm hearing brothers, not just in manosphere, not just in my regular life, but even brothers on the ESPN network make all kind of excuses. Let's see if I could pull up said video real quick. Let's see if I could pull up said video real quick, because we got to break down what the hell is going on. We got to break down what is going on out in the real world, because we got to teach brothers, because a lot of brothers, unfortunately, they got some bad advice from a prominent YouTuber who died and passed away. No, there's a lot of dudes out here who didn't have a father figure, so they came on YouTube and they found a YouTube daddy, and their YouTube daddy became Kevin Samuels. And they propped up Kevin Samuels. They called him the Godfather. Some called him Uncle Kevin. And he's giving them all kind of bad advice. But one of the bad advice he gave these men was they should be exercising their options. Yes, he said they should exercise their options. In fact, Kevin Samuels told these brothers to get a high-ranking spot in corporate America. You had to be married. They said they don't take you seriously if you aren't married. So if you want to be in corporate America, you have to be married. Now, I'm not arguing that point. But then Kevin Samuels then said these high-value men, like an Ime Udoka, you're married, you're in corporate America, you can exercise options. So you got a lot of dudes on Facebook right now, a lot of dudes on YouTube who get on YouTube and say high-value men should exercise options. No, we're high value. We're going to exercise options. We're going to exercise options. When I'm at work, we're going to exercise options. If we see somebody that's 25, look good, round butt, nice dress, we're going to exercise options. And it created a whole environment where now black men aren't disciplined. And your boy Ime Udoka, he found himself in a situation where he is risking it all. He is risking it. He's risking his whole career for some coochie, for the box. He's putting his whole NBA career reputation, family on the line for some coochie, for exercising his options. In the Grandmaster Troll, I'm all about black male accountability, because if black men are accountable to themselves, do the right thing, you won't find yourself in a position like Ime Udoka, who many believe he already coached his last game as a Boston Celtic head coach. In fact, he may have coached his last game in the NBA as a head coach, because we know opportunities don't come to brothers when they messed up. And your boy Ime Udoka messed up. But there's a lot of people, a lot of black men out there, they want to run interference. Let's just see the interference that these people are running out here.
Woj tweeting moments ago that Boston Celtics head coach Ime Udoka is likely facing a suspension for the entire 2022-2023 season for his role in a consensual relationship with a female staff member. Sources tell ESPN a formal announcement is expected as soon as today. Also tweeting, assistant coach Joe Mazzulla is likely to become Boston's interim coach for the seasons, according to sources. Stephen A., what are your thoughts with the situation?
I'm appalled by this decision. If you're not going to fire him, he shouldn't be suspended. You can dock him pay, you can fine him, you can keep the stuff in-house. I'm appalled that this is publicized.
Stop the show. Stop the show. This is your boy. This is your boy, Stephen A. Smith, right here. Let me make sure I got this right. This is your boy, Stephen A. Smith, right here. Educated brother, Salem University, corporate America. This is Gabe A. This is the educated lame right here. If you know anything about Stephen A. Smith, the drug dealers, the gang members, they made sure he didn't get involved in the street life, because even the Pookies and Ray Ray saw he could be something in corporate America. So he got to corporate America. Ime Udoka is going through this situation, and your boy Stephen A. Smith is appalled. Not that a black man was cheating on his black wife. Not that a black man embarrassed himself and stained his reputation. Not that a black man put his career in jeopardy. He is appalled that this situation became public. Let me go ahead and rewind it, because I couldn't believe what your boy Stephen A. Smith. Now, Stephen A. Smith, there's one thing he does on ESPN. He holds black males accountable. Whenever a black male is smoking weed and they get suspended, he'll get on ESPN and say, why can't black men stay off the weed? They're paying you millions of dollars, and all you gotta do to not be able to mess it up is stay off the weed. Don't be out here committing crimes. Don't do nothing to jeopardize the check. We have Ime Udoka, who's being suspended for the whole season, is jeopardizing the check and the potential money he could be making. Instead of Stephen A. Smith being impaled in Ime Udoka for what he did. This is what Stephen A. Smith said.
If you're not going to fire him, he shouldn't be suspended. You can dock him pay, you can fine him, you can keep the stuff in-house. I'm appalled that this is publicized. I'm going to repeat what I said in the top of the show. I know of plenty of situations spanning the entire world of professional sports, not just the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball. The list goes on and on where folks are messing around with each other. You don't see this become a story. This was leaked by the Boston Celtics organization. I know a lot of things about the Boston Celtics organization as it pertains to stuff like this that I could repeat. It would be irresponsible and none of my damn business. Just like it's none of our damn business now. And I'm going to say it again. I don't see nothing being put out and disseminated to the masses with these white dudes that's doing this stuff.
Oh, stop the show. Stop the show. Did I just hear the white man do it too excuse? Did I hear the white man do it too excuse? I know we're not trying to deflect from Ime Udoka cheating on his wife. And the reason I say wife, because there's a lot of dudes on here on the internet and on social media who's gonna tell GMT, wait a minute, GMT. Coach Ime Udoka is not even married to Nia Long. That's his fiance. This is what Nero's gonna tell me. He didn't cheat on his wife. They're not even married. That's his fiance. To which I reply, what's the difference between a wife and a fiance if y'all made the agreement to be loyal to each other? I mean, what's really the difference? Because you haven't had a ceremony and put a ring on it yet, it's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be okay that he's just stepping out on his fiance at the job. No, he out and no, instead of focusing on winning championships and beating the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals, your boy Coach Ime Udoka is in the coach's office with a female staffer. Doggy style, missionary style, cowgirl, reverse cowgirl, 69, sloppy toppy, dating at the Y. I mean, this is a terrible look for Black men out here. It is not because what Ime Udoka did. It's because all the Black men who have came out and are saying, why is this public? They should have kept this in-house. Somebody leaked this to trash another Black man. Whenever a Black man becomes somebody, they find any way to bring them down. And when I start hearing talk like this, it only confirms that there's a lot of BMs who don't know nothing, who can't see the forest from the trees. Let's get back to your boy Stephen A. real quick.
I know plenty of white dudes that was screwing around. While they executives or coaches or anything like that. I ain't talking about the NBA. I'm talking about professional sports. I know plenty. I've never seen this publicized.
you never seen it publicized? You never seen it public? You say you know a bunch of white dudes. See, what I need you to do, Stephen A. Smith, but I know you won't do it. Because if you did do it, you put your own self at jeopardy. I want you to name names of said white dudes who are married, who are cheating at the job with a female staffer who is an underling. I want you to name names, and then we can really break down why Ime Udoka is really wrong in the position he put the Boston Celtics in with his actions. But I already know, because there's a couple there's a couple of names out there, Queen of the South. You know, you're gonna see a lot of black men. You're going to see a lot of black men say, well, what about Phil Jackson? He was dating Gina Buss when he was the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, Phil Jackson got the okay from the owner, Dr. Buss, at the time, that it was okay to date his daughter. So he had the stamp of approval. You see how it worked, Stephen A. Smith? You got to get the okay from the boss man to deal with the boss's daughter. Now, if you're telling me Phil Jackson was dating and in a consensual relationship with another female of the Los Angeles Lakers organization that wasn't Jeannie Buss, that will be news to us, and I would love to see you name some names. But if you're wrong, Stephen A. Smith, if your facts aren't correct, Stephen A. Smith, they will sue your ass. That defamation lawsuit will hit you and ESPN so quick that Walt Disney will come back from the grave and fire you himself for being reckless with your mouth on the First Take platform. But I know now Negroes are going to say, well, GMT, what about Coach Rick Pitino? You know, he cheated on his wife. He was the coach at Louisville basketball. He didn't get fired. He wasn't suspended, GMT. The white man got away with it. Well, let's go back and let's look at said case. Let's look at said case. We got the Rick Pitino right here. Now, he was the coach at Louisville on 2009. Let me see if I can pull up his profile. He was a coach at Louisville from 2001 to 2017. But back in 2009, he was a part of an extortion attempt. And the extortion attempt reads like this. On April 18, 2009, Pitino announced that he was the target of an extortion attempt. On April 24th, Karen Cipher, the wife of Louisville equipment manager Tim Cipher, was arraigned and charged in U.S. District Court with extortion and lying to federal agents. The federal government alleged that Karen demanded vehicles and tuition money for her children from Pitino and later demanded $10 million from him. According to the federal complaint, the demands arose from an unspecified encounter between Karen and Coach Pitino. On August 11, Coach Pitino admitted that he had sexual relations with Karen Cipher on August 1st, 2003 at Porcini, a Louisville restaurant. Several weeks later, Karen told Pitino that she was pregnant and wanted to have an abortion, but added she did not have health insurance. Pitino paid her $3,000 for the abortion. During the trial, Pitino downplayed the pair's sexual escapade, testifying that the entire act did not take more than 15 seconds. Karen claimed that her estranged husband, Tim Cipher, was paid to marry her. At a press conference on August 12th, Pitino apologized for his indiscretion and stated he would remain as coach, while Pitino's contract allowed for his firing for acts of moral depravity or misconduct that damages the university's reputation. University of Louisville President James Ramsey announced on August 13th that Pitino would remain in his position. On August 6, 2010, a federal district court found Karen guilty of extortion and lying to federal agents. She was eventually sentenced to 87 months in prison. Karen was released to a halfway house in January 2017. After her conviction, Karen hired new attorneys and accused the judge, the prosecutors, her former attorneys, and Pitino of taking part in a conspiracy to ensure that she was found guilty. She later expressed exceptional remorse and contrition regarding her commission of her offenses. Ladies and gentlemen, what I just read to you was a prominent head coach at the college level who was married at the time, who had a relationship with a female worker of somebody who was married to the equipment manager at Louisville. Dudes, you're going to hear dudes use this case. Pitino kept his job. He wasn't fined or anything. He wasn't suspended. Now, I got to go back and dig up some old articles because I don't know if he was suspended. Since Wikipedia doesn't mention a suspension, I'm going to assume that he wasn't. But they're going to use this Rick Pitino case and say, Rick Pitino got away. Why can't Ime get away with it? Well, it's different. And I gotta break down the business side to these Negroes because Negroes don't understand business. The woman that Rick Pitino was dealing with tried to extort money from him, which is against the law. She was charged for said crime and convicted of said crime. Even though there was a clause in Rick Pitino's contract that said he could be fired for morality and damaging the university's reputation, the president had to step in and save his job. So it seems like there was many people who at that school who have positions of power wanted to remove Rick Pitino, but the president stepped in and overruled and chose to keep him. In the case with Ime Udoka, the owner, president of basketball operations, Brad Stevens, they're not stepping in to save Ime Udoka. Now, why aren't they stepping in? One, it appears that Ime Udoka isn't being extorted. So he isn't a victim of a crime. But more importantly, according to the reports, according to the videos in which I've heard, Coach Ime Udoka, in the course of, negotiating that pussy, let me say it again, negotiating that pussy, he made some unwanted comments. And once the female says he made unwanted comments and has the text messages to back it up, now we have possible claims for workforce sexual harassment. You see, black man, this is what Kevin Samuels didn't tell you when it comes to exercising options, being a high-value corporate man. And it's something that your homeboy GMT got to school y'all to the game on. Because it's obviously a lot of y'all don't know. And a lot of brothers who are on ESPN who claim to be thought leaders of the Black community, who speak for the Black community, who Black people want to speak for them, because there's a lot of Black people who want Stephen A. Smith to talk on the behalf for the Black male athlete on these platforms when they're getting attacked, for DUI, for committing crimes, beating their girlfriend, smoking weed, acting up on the basketball court or football field. They wanted Stephen A. Smith to speak up for them. So they look to Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is not going to tell you when you're a Black man who has a prominent position in an organization and you have a consensual sexual relationship with a female staffer who is an underling, even though it could be consensual on the day that it happened, on follow-up days, that female could feel that your position of power in said organization influenced her in giving you the box, and now we have workforce sexual harassment that the organization can be sued for millions of dollars for. People in prominent positions can lose their 7-figure salary jobs for. I gotta talk to the Black men, because Black men are getting on YouTube and they're saying all the wrong things. And once Cynthia G gets wind of what happened to another Black man by the name of Ime Udoka, and she runs out the content of you Negroes windmilling for Ime Udoka and not understanding the landscape of corporate business, Cynthia G is going to gain another 100,000 subscribers. She's going to gain another 1,000 live viewers. And she's going to have more ammo to obliterate your talking points on you, because she made easy work of an Umar Johnson. And now with this story, she can make easy work of a lot of you BMs out there, because y'all don't understand when you have a position in an organization and you mess with a female, she's your underling. Even though said relationship was consensual, she could still make the case for workplace sexual harassment, because she can always say she was coerced into having a sexual relationship with you because you were her boss. You had some influence. And if she felt that if she didn't give you the box, she could have lost her job. And we've seen it with the Me Too, and you Negroes, you still haven't figured it out yet. And it's obvious you haven't figured it out, because we got Ime Udoka who did the crime, and we got Stephen A. Smith telling the organization that they should have dealt with it behind closed doors and not made it public. This is what's going on in the real world. This is the thought process behind these BMs. Why is the organization making it public? Why don't they keep it private? You have to get out in front of it and protect yourself from a sexual workplace harassment lawsuit. Now, with this suspension, this absolves the Boston organization from any workplace sexual harassment. Now, all of the weight is going to fall on Coach Ime Udoka, who broke the number one rule, which is don't be fucking on the job. When you go to work, you go to work to work. You're not supposed to be in the coach's office sending inappropriate text messages. You're not supposed to be in the coach's office flirting with female staffers. You're not supposed to have them bent over your coaching desk after hours when you think everybody's at home. You're not supposed to be doing that. Most importantly, you're not supposed to be cheating on your wife. But this is your boy, Stephen A. Smith, right here. This is your boy.
Why are we publicizing this about Ime Udoka? This is wrong. Now, if you fired them, he violated a code of conduct policy. We ain't having that. You gonna keep him around? Jaylen Brown don't deserve better than that. Jason Tatum don't deserve better than that. Marcus Smart doesn't deserve better than that.
Now, to be fair, Stephen A., they could fire him, but Ime Udoka in this first year took the Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals. So he has some value. So if they could sit down Ime Udoka for a whole year, see how the team performs in his absence, if who's ever going to coach the team now, if he can have similar success, maybe they get rid of an Ime Udoka. Maybe they suspend them for the whole year, and then at the end of the season, they decide if they want to keep a coach Ime Udoka or then fire him. He could very well much be fired. But for them to suspend him for a year as opposed to not fire him from the year, that doesn't mean that they got to be hush-hush, not tell everybody, keep it private. You can't quite do that, because if you fire him, you got to tell everybody why he was fired.
All of these cats that's on this team, Robert Williams and everybody else, they don't deserve Derek White. They don't deserve better than that, because this dude engaged in a consensual relationship, as egregious as that may be in some people's eyes. Because you're going to hear more about this, and you're going to find out more about the woman involved, and that's unfortunate too. But the bottom line is, it's a personal, consensual situation between two adults. You violated the code of conduct policy. You violated the relationship policy or the organizational policy of the Boston Celtics. Then you shouldn't be there. And if you're going to be there, what happened to it being a family? What happened to it being in-house? What happened to it being none of anybody's damn business but our business? How all of a sudden this stuff? I know people that's acted up and that's had stuff happen. I don't see their business out there. Nobody's publicizing it, and that's within the same damn organization. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But Ime Udoka stuff is out on Front Street. This stinks to the high heavens. It's unfair to the team, the players. It's unfair to the basketball organization. I'm talking about the basketball staff. It's unfair. It ain't right. Fire him or keep him. Period. But for this to be put out on Front Street like that, it's disgraceful. It's really, really weak. It's sleazy. Sleazy. And I'm talking directly to the Boston Celtics organization. It's sleazy what you're doing here.
Hold on, Stephen A. Smith. It's sleazy for the Boston organization. But Ime Udoka's actions wasn't sleazy to Nia Long. In fact, you said Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. It's a shame that the Boston organization had to go through this. The Boston fans have to go through this. At no mention in your soliloquy in which you was yelling at the top of your lungs did you come to Nia Long's defense. Because she got to read about, she got to see all these different talking heads, all these headlines of her fiance cheating on the job. And at no point in your soliloquy, Stephen A. Smith, did you mention Nia Long? And now that a punishment has been rendered And since you don't like said punishment that is rendered in the Boston organization, they have every right to suspend him for a year or fire him. What is wrong with the Boston Celtics organization suspending him for a year? I still don't understand, because you would have no problem if he was fired. But since the organization chose to suspend him for a year, now you have a problem with it. But this is what these Negroes are doing. This is what these Negroes are windmilling for.
It ain't right. Thanks for watching ESPN.
So that was your boy. That was your boy, Stephen A. Smith. Windmilling. We got action potential. He says, John, sorry, GMT. I agree with Stephen A. Smith. Nia was his fiance. It appears she ain't on her job and she way older than him. That pussy ain't hitting like them 20 to 30-year-old women. You see how dudes get down in the space. You see how they get. They agree with Stephen A. Smith. It's the Boston organization's fault before how they're dealing out the punishment for a coach who cheated on his fiance at the job with a female underling. So since black men ain't gonna hold Coach Ime Udoka accountable, now the white man gotta step in and hold Coach Ime Udoka accountable. Let's see what else I got. I think I got one more clip. I think I should have one more clip before I open it up. Let's see if I can find it. I should have one more clip, because we got all these folks, they want to make it about race. They want to do this, that, and the third. Let's see if I can find. We found the clip. Let's see if it'll load up. Let's see if it'll load up real quick. Now we gotta get the other side of the coin. No, we gotta listen to people who actually know a little bit about something when it comes to this situation right here. Let's see if we could get to it.
Today, welcome into Undisputed. I'm Jen Hale. That is Skip Bayless, and that is Shannon Sharp. Good morning, gentlemen.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery. You just couldn't have me to have my number. You had to go get Skip on your chain.
Well, I've had it before you started wearing your number to try to compete with my chain, and you failed miserably because mine is quality over quantity. And mine is
starting to freeze a little bit. Now we are going to listen to your boy Shannon Sharp, because we all know Shannon Sharp. His grandma told I know Shannon Sharp's grandma told him if he ever made it to corporate America and he had a wife, his grandma told him, you need not to be exercising those options. You need to be faithful to your wife. You need to be faithful to your fiance, because that's what men do. You need to be disciplined enough not to put your career in jeopardy. He's not going to deflect to, other white head coaches do it. Other white staffers do it as well who are in the organization. Shannon Sharp is all about accountability.
real and yours is cubic zirconia.
Need to see these?
Mistake play.
Hey, you know if I to come take this L.
Coach Ime Udoka for all of this upcoming season, the entire 22-23 period for violations of team policies. there's no current decision about his future with the Celtics beyond this season. The Athletic reports that the Celtics first became aware of Udoka's consensual relationship with a female member of the organization in July, a few months ago.
So in July is when the organization became aware of said sexual relationship. So that means July, May, during the whole playoff run, when the Celtics was trying to win a ring, everybody was focused in on winning a championship. Ime Udoka was focused on getting some pussy at the workplace. Let's get right to it. I mean, this is so flagrant. You got Jason Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown trying to win a championship, and your boy, the head coach, instead of focusing, coming up with a strategy on how to stop Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and the crew, your boy, Coach Ime Udoka, was strategizing how to get some pussy at the job.
But the woman recently accused Udoka of making unwanted comments toward her, which led to the team investigation.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk to the brothers. You think you in a consensual sexual relationship? You know, you in these relationships. You know, you getting the head that you want. She busting it down that you want. She's sending you them pictures in that sexy lingerie. You getting them nude photos sent to you. And out of nowhere, as my light dies, we're gonna change out the battery real quick. Out of nowhere, that woman but was busting it wide open for you, she will go tell your boss and say that you are sending unwanted messages. So let's get right back to it.
Shannon, very serious topic here. What's your reaction to the latest developments in this?
When we talked about this yesterday, what did I say?
You said it.
I say it always starts out as consensual. Mm-hmm. And then when it gets found out, somebody's going to say these were unwarranted advances. Mm-hmm. And this is what the organization and this is what corporations and businesses are afraid of. This is why they try to keep this out of the workplace.
Or the relationship just goes sideways.
And it goes sideways. Yeah. And then what? Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to get you back. Mm-hmm. Skip, this seems like a very hard, and I've always felt that this seemed very harsh. I just hope this is a one-off. This is a one-time, this is a one situation. I hope it's not a situation where other women within the organization were to come forward and say this is something happened, because this seems like an awful harsh stance given. Now, it started, everybody was reporting consensual. Yeah. And in the last 12 to 16 hours, it seemed to be these were unwarranted advances.
You see how your boy Shannon Sharp run it down to you Negroes. They always start off as a consensual relationship. Then the relationship goes sour. Somebody's feelings get hurt. Then somebody starts snitching. They start saying that all these messages are unwarranted. Then that female goes to the boss. And next you know, we got all these pretty young females who are mad that you chose up on her. Now they're running to the office talking about sexual harassment. You see how it works? This is how it works in corporate America. And it's a shame that the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, the Kevin Samuels of the world, the Dennis Sperlings of the world, you know, all these dudes who are about the windmill for Ime Udoka because another black man got taken down. This is what they fixing to do. They fixing the windmill for him.
That they're gearing up to relieve him of his duties eventually. I think that's kind of where we're headed.
It feels that way.
I think for me, just sitting back looking at it, Skip, it looks like they were hoping he would resign. You know, a lot of time when situations like this arise, somebody's like, you know what, I've decided that, you know, blah, 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 and I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna resign. They were kind of hoping that Ime Udoka do that. He's like, and it seems to me like, nah, I'm not going anywhere. No, that's not gonna happen. But I was always afraid this was what would happen, is that what seemingly starts out.
You see black men, you see Stephen A. Smith, my man, action potential. There's a process, you know, they said they were going to suspend him. Maybe they were hoping that your boy Ime Udoka would fall on the sword and just resign. He didn't really resign, so now they're going to suspend him from the year. They're going to see how the team performs. They're going to look at all their options, and then they're going to make their choice if they want to bring Coach Ime Udoka back or if they're going to fire him. See, the Boston organization, they are running a business. See, what Stephen A. Smith and the Kevin Samuels of the world is that they won't tell you about the business side. You know, everybody else is playing chess. The black man is always playing checkers. To protect himself from any lawsuits from the women and to protect themselves from litigation from Ime Udoka. They said we suspended them, we weighed our options, we did this, we went through this process, that process. This isn't a black-white thing. We are simply doing what's in the best interest in the organization, and we're also keeping up with compliance from all these different rules that we gotta have at the workforce when it comes to firing and handing down punishment to said individuals. I love what the Boston organization is doing. They didn't keep it behind closed doors. They put everything out on Front Street.
It's consensual, or what is said is consensual. Somebody gets mad, somebody feels that they got wrong, somebody all of a sudden he's no longer interested, he's interested in someone else. I didn't get the position that I thought I deserved or I thought I was promised, and then here it goes. Now the Boston Celtics or some other corporation, it just so happens we're talking about the Boston Celtics, but other corporations, and this is why they try to keep this out of the workplace. And that's what it always happens. It happens like this. And so for me, says they learned of this in July.
So it would be obviously after the finals.
After the finals. But Skip, I mean, and she is married to someone that's a high-ranking official in the Celtics organization.
You mean the woman that Coach Ime Udoka was banging out was married to a high-ranking official in the Boston Celtics organization? You see how sloppy these BMs get? I mean, Coach Ime Udoka, you couldn't even pick a woman who was single. You gonna mess with a woman who is married to a high-ranking member of the Boston organization. You see how sloppy you is?
So obviously that's not gonna play very well.
No.
So, bro, look, I get it, and his situation is his situation, whatever that is, with the high-profile celeb that he was in a relationship with, but they do share a child together.
They do.
Oh, you mean Shannon Sharp even had the common sense to mention Nia Long in this situation, because even Shannon Sharp understands that Ime Udoka has a child, is married to or about to marry Nia Long, who is also an actor. And this is going to look bad on everybody, all because of what Coach Ime Udoka did.
Bro, you couldn't get somebody single? You couldn't get it. I mean, not one person you could find that was single. Not one. And I get Skip. Look,
Shannon, you know how these things
Skip,
happen.
you all the time. You there all the time. I mean, what is a coach? I mean, you're on the road. You got 82 games. So 41 of those games you're on the road, and then playoffs, and then the close contact. So I don't know how it happened, but I just know it's a bad look, and organizations and corporations try to keep this out of the workplace. It's gonna happen, but normally it ends up bad. And when it ends up bad, it blows back on the corporation because they're like, you should. How do I know? I mean, it's hard because you do a great job of keeping it secret at first. And then somebody else finds out, and you make somebody mad, they'll go tell HR, then HR gets involved, and obviously this is an HR violation because of the code. You can't do this. But Skip, it seems like they're gearing up to relieve him of his duty at some point in time down the road. I just hope this is a situation, this was a one-off. This was one terrible mistake that he made with this individual lady, and there's not another lady or another ladies.
Yeah, I hear you.
I mean, this is why they couldn't outright fire him. They couldn't outright fire him because he was dealing with somebody else's wife in the organization. So what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. I'm gonna open up the panel because I know there's Negroes out there that they're gonna swear up and down that GMT is wrong. You know, it happens all the time. The coach shouldn't have been suspended. They should have fired him, or he should have been fired, or it's not none of our business. It should have been kept in-house. This is a new age. This is a new age we are entering in. We got to protect ourselves from these situations. We got somebody who wants to come up. Who do we got in the building? We got the village arsonist in the building. Village arsonist, tell us what's on your mind.
This is bullshit. What's going on, GMT? This is bullshit. Hey, free the dude. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I hope he files a lawsuit. This is the fault of the husband that could not fuck his wife the right way. You understand? That's whose fucking fault this is. This is not his fucking fault. His fucking career should not be affected because he can't fuck his wife effectively. That's not this brother's fault. Okay? This brother was stepping in and fulfilling his fucking duties as a man. Okay? He was wearing that pussy out because the fucking husband wasn't doing it. That is not a fucking reason to affect his career. He did not commit a crime. Okay? This is bullshit. Okay? You got whole basketball players out here with 15 kids, with 13 bitches. Okay? Stop it. Stop it. Okay? Let's not all of a sudden, everybody's super moral now. So now we're the morality police now. This is bullshit. He didn't commit a fucking crime, okay? Now, if the husband wants to file a fucking lawsuit against the guy, hey, fuck it. That's his business. Okay? I mean, there are consequences fucking with married women. There are consequences. I get that, okay? I wouldn't do it myself, okay? The bottom line is, I'm not going to sit up here and fault this man for wearing his pussy out, okay? The pussy was motherfucking, the pussy was needing it, okay? The pussy was needing it. The nigga wasn't handling his motherfucking, I'm sorry. Apparently, white zaddy, quote unquote, wasn't handling his motherfucking bill. Apparently, this is a woman married to some white guy, apparently. According to the wife, apparently, Brad wasn't handling fucking business, okay? So Stacy had to go see the brother. That's not the brother's fucking fault. Okay? No, because I'm tired of the dick policing. I'm sick and tired of motherfuckers shitting on black men. You got GMT up here acting like he's not a black man all of a sudden, nigga. What jersey you got on, GMT? Hey, what's up, sexy red? I see you got them titties all up in the icon and shit, because that's all you got. And that's cool. It's cool. I'm looking because I'm a man. It's no problem. But stop jumping on panels acting like you have anything intellectual to add. You don't.
GMT, who the fuck are you telling who got to check in? The fuck?
Sexy red.
Who got to check in?
Check in, bitch.
Who the fuck got to check in?
Check the fuck in.
Shut your ass up.
Check the fuck in.
You
You ain't got
gotta
shit
know
to
that.
say. Who is this other person? I
nothing
can't
to
see
do
who
with
they
race.
are, GMT.
We got
White
Miss
men
J
get
and
white
Sexy
men get fired from their job all the time for doing this
He
particular
should have
behavior.
been suspended. He should
Absolutely.
have kept his dick in his
This has
pants.
nothing to do with
And
race.
he had the
It has
flaw.
everything to do with opening
Well,
up the corporation
no.
to
They
civil
don't get fired.
liability.
They don't get fired. They get
Yes,
called
they
out
do.
for it. They get caught.
No,
they get caught.
fired all
what
the
white
time.
man? Which one? Which one? You can't
You
fucking
don't pay
name
attention to the news.
one.
Why
You
can he not keep
can't
his pants,
name
his
one
dick in his
white
pants?
man that's been fired for cheating on his wife. Give me one. Bill Clinton didn't even lose the presidency. Give me one. Give me one.
It don't matter why y'all want to
There
be
you
white.
go. Exactly.
You want to be a white man. You say you want to
Exactly.
be a white man.
Fail.
We
Shut
get it.
down. Shut the
Say you wanna
fuck
be a
up.
white man.
Okay? This is what I'm talking about. Hey, give me that gun. You take this L, bitch. Go ahead and take his gift rabbit. Take it on over there and sit the fuck down and shut up. Okay? This is how it goes. Successful rich men get to cheat. That's how it goes. Okay? Successful rich
I
men
am
get
so
to cheat.
emotional, sir. You are emotional as fuck.
I'm not emotional at all.
Yes,
I'm having a
you
good
are.
day. I'm having a good day. What's up, GMT? How you doing, big dog? Hey, man, I hope you get the repairs to that car. I hope they caught the motherfuckers that damaged the car, man. That was some bullshit, bro. That was some bullshit.
I can name you about
Let your
two,
balls drop,
but
nigga.
there been some televangelists who was fired for cheating, and they're white.
Hey, Big J.
Which one? Which one?
I think Jimmy Swaggart.
You think?
Don't
And he
you
wasn't
talk to Big J
fired.
like that.
He
Big J
wasn't
is talking,
fired.
nigga.
He was not fired, sir. He
J is
resigned. He was
I'm
not
not done with you,
fired.
GMT.
He resigned.
I'm not
And he's
fucking done with
still
you either.
respected. So that's not a good example. Give me another one.
I think Baker was fired.
You motherfucking married men need to start fucking your wives right. Okay? Start fucking your wives right. Okay? Don't get married to a bitch.
You don't even have a wife.
Fuck her. Okay? That's just how it goes, bro. How you gonna marry a woman but you ain't fucking her right? How?
Why are you yelling for?
Why? I don't understand.
You raising people blood pressure for no fucking reason.
Let me ask you this question,
God
Village. Let me
damn.
ask you this question, Village. Question I'm going to ask you, Village. I'm pretty sure you had a job or you have a boss. If you slept with your boss's wife or the executive's wife, wouldn't you expect that there would be some repercussions for doing that? Are you there, Village?
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. That's what it is. Yeah. Anyway,
of course, of course. I would expect something. I wouldn't expect this. This should not affect his entire career.
Why not?
This
He disrespected his family. He disrespected his family. He disrespected that man's family.
But at the same time, should he be shamed for it because he got caught? Okay, yeah, he should be shamed for it. You know, Ben Roethlisberger is out here sexually assaulting people, and he had a full fucking career. Okay, no arrests.
And you didn't do not one fucking stream on this shit, did you?
None of that shit.
I know your
okay?
whole ass ain't
So
do no stream.
miss me with the bullshit. Okay, you got white football players out here beating the shit out of women. Shout out to Johnny Manziel. Okay, shout out to Johnny Manziel. Shout out to what was the guy's name that beat up the black chick?
Yes.
What was Chad something? Chad Wheeler. Chad Wheeler.
Chad Wheeler have an actual real conversation. Stop it. Or is this guy just gonna act silly?
It's too public, right? It's too public, right? He was sloppy. He was sloppy. I'll give it that. He was sloppy.
All you need to do is Google human resources. And this is what it's gonna say. What is considered an inappropriate work relationship? Romantic. I'm saying romantic or sexual relationship.
They don't work together. Do they work together?
Listen to me. Let me read what it says.
The fuck you mean?
Let me read what it says. Romantic or sexual relationships between employees where one individual has influence or control over other conditions of employment are inappropriate. These relationships, even if consensual, may eventually result in conflict or difficulties in the workplace. So yes, it is a fireable or suspension related event. It has nothing to do with the fact that he's married or Neil Long or
how did it come to the public?
This
you're talking from pure fucking emotion
for decades.
You're talking from
How did it come
has
to the
nothing
public?
to do with black men or black women or anything.
How did it come to the public? How did they find out about it, GMT?
Matter. It doesn't matter
it
how
does.
it came to the public.
GMT, how did they find out about it, bro? Do you know?
It don't matter. Get out your feelings. Get out your feelings.
Suspended.
GMT
I'm not
did
in my
not
feelings. What is this
suspend
bitch talking
him.
about? GMT, how did they find out, bro? How did they find out about it?
It doesn't matter. ESPN did not suspend him.
Can you shut the fuck up and let him answer my question? Thank you.
GMT did not suspend him.
How did they find out, brother?
It
Do you
doesn't
mind me
matter.
asking? I'd like to know.
So the
it's a human resources situation.
The coach had sent her inappropriate or unwanted messages.
Okay, well, wait a minute. Okay, so but they were fucking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not understanding how that.
So you can have a consensual relationship with a female, but if you send messages to that female that's making her uncomfortable, she's going to report that to the boss. So when they report that to the boss, and now they have to give a punishment and suspend the coach, everybody's going to ask, why is the coach who just coached this team to the NBA Finals, why is he not leading the team on the sideline? So now that organization has to tell the public, the media, why the coach is being suspended.
It depends, brother. I need to know was she basically trying to pull a what some white girls will do. You know, they'll try to, when they think that they're about to get found out, they want to try to pull the victim card. So, oh, this big black Negro is harassing me. That bullshit. Some of them will pull, and some black women will pull that bullshit too in the workplace. They'll pull that sexual harassment shit too. Yeah. So your sisters will do it too.
That's why HR says not to do it.
But this sounds like from right now, this sounds like she was basically trying to cover her track. She was basically trying to cover her track. I mean,
it doesn't matter. That's why they say don't do it.
If he was getting clingy, if he was getting clingy and shit, you know, if he's one of these dudes that fucks a chick and he gets clingy and starts getting creepy and stalkerish and all of that, that's one thing. Okay, all right, nigga, you tripping. I don't like that. You know, I don't support that. Like, don't get pussy whipped and then you start stalking the bitch and you calling the bitch 20 times a day and all. Don't do that weird shit. So if that's what he was doing, my bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But isn't that what happened when you involve yourself?
If that's what happened, okay, all right, I'll give you that. Straight up, real shit. If that's what was going on, he's a fuck nigga. He's a simp, and he deserves. He's getting what he's getting. I mean, it is what I like. Simping. I have no sympathy for motherfuckers that do weirdo simp ass shit. These niggas out here paying $500 for feet pictures and shit. Like, you weak fucking men are the problem. So if he's one of those type of niggas out here stalking a bitch, calling her 50 times a day because the pussy was good, I have no respect for men like that, period. If that's the case, fuck him.
Well, that's not necessarily the problem. The problem is when you're in a consensual sexual relationship with these women and you message them. For instance, you could be at work with a female and then you clock out. And when you go home and you want to text said female and she's at work, you're sending her sexual messages while she's at work. And she's going to take those messages to the boss. And now you're going to get in trouble with HR even though you off the clock.
I went to trucking school in Texas. There were lots of thick ass Hispanic women in the office of the trucking school that I went to. I hollered at all of them. I fucked some of them. I have no apologies for that. I'm a man, okay? Now there are certain men that are able. Hang on, wait. There are certain men that are able to have sex with women that are at the workplace. It's a risk. I get it, but for one, I drive trucks. So it's like, you know, I'm on the road a lot. So I'm not in the office every day seeing this bitch. So it was like, it was during trucking school. I'm there for a month. You know what? I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm not going to see you again more than likely, maybe once or twice, but I'm on the road. So it's different. But I understand there's a risk, right? But there are some guys that are able to pull this off because, for one, they don't nag the bitch. They don't make it obvious. They want to keep it secret just like her. They want to keep it under wraps just like her. So they're not texting the bitch 20 times a day because, for one, they don't trust her. Like, she might not delete the texts and all of that. So I'm being careful about, for one, if I know the bitch is married or with a dude, I'm not giving too much of my personal information in these texts because she might not delete the shit. So I'm being very careful. I mean, you can have dudes that are like that. They think like that. They understand this is how it works. Some guys are very sensitive. They will kill over a bitch. We understand there are guys out there like that. So if we deal with a woman that has a dude, we're going to take steps to cover our tracks because we're selfish. We want to protect ourselves.
Are they
We want to protect ourselves. So that's what that's about. So I can understand, I can understand in certain situations, I'm going to wrap it up, but in certain situations, bitch, look, in certain situations, I understand two people working with each other, hooking up. Because if we see each other, we're working with each other. I'm a man, you're a woman. I mean, like, we're not just natural, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's natural. You're not going, especially in an office situation. If I see you every day and we're attracted to each other, come on, man. Like, something's gonna happen, bro. Like, that is what it is. That is what it is.
For some dick. Just because you want to fuck. No.
Again, if both sides know how to work it, nobody gets caught.
It's not about getting
when
caught.
one side is sloppy and the other side is doing shit to cover their tracks, like this white bitch apparently said, well, I don't know if she was white, but apparently this chick, again, it sounds like she was basically trying to cover her tracks because somebody was about to get found out. It sounds like that. So she pulled out, she's like, hey, he's acting crazy and I'm the victim. Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh,
shit. Go ahead. You don't have shit to say. This bitch interrupts me.
By the way, you asked me for the name. You asked for the name. You asked for the name of someone who got fired for having a sexual relationship with someone at work. The CEO of McDonald's in 2020 got fired for this exact same thing because McDonald's policy is it prohibits employees with a direct or indirect reporting relationship from dating or having a sexual relationship. This happens all the time. And that's a white guy.
All right. Okay.
This is not a black person thing.
Okay. I stand corrected.
This happens all the time.
Yes.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. However, I will be respected because at the end of the day, bottom line is no law was broken. Okay.
Nobody said a law was broken.
I mean, nobody was hurt. She's not a victim. This was not sexual harassment if they were both fucking. Okay. So at best, find him and her. Both sides need to be punished. Now, I'm going to throw that out there. If the bitch doesn't get punished, it's bullshit. And everybody knows it. Now, y'all got to give me that. If they were both fucking consensually, if it was consensual, okay. All right.
We're logical and not emotional.
Okay.
Sir.
I'm not emotional. I have a better mic than you, bitch. And I'm on my phone, so that's a bad thing. If you got an actual mic and I'm on my phone and I'm louder than you,
I have high walls and I turn the volume.
No, ma'am. You pay $30 for the mic off Amazon, and that's not my fault. You need to get a better mic.
Is this
better?
Whoever the other woman is, ma'am, I can't see your icon, so I don't know who you are. What's your name? Who is this?
Any better?
A little bit.
Don't do the baby voice. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Shut your ass up. You
don't do that.
Shut up.
Don't do that. Don't do
you are just disgusting.
Don't do that.
You disgust me.
Shit. Well, who's the other woman?
This has nothing to do with being a coworker. It's about
who are you? I can't see your icon. I don't know who you are.
It doesn't fucking matter.
What my icon is, if you can listen to what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with being a coworker. You being a truck driver and dating a hot Latina you see in the office is something different than a boss sleeping with a subordinate. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you have control over someone else's employment, many corporations say you cannot date.
Wait. So who was she? What was her position? What was her position?
Because of quid pro quo.
What was her position? What was her position?
We don't know.
Okay, the how the fuck do you know
she had a lower position than
How do you know that if you don't know her position? How do you know that?
Lord have mercy.
Because you could look.
Was she higher than the coach? No, that's how we know.
General manager, assistant general manager. I don't know.
No,
Who the fuck
she was not a manager or an assistant general manager.
Can we talk to someone less emotional?
What the fuck was she? What was her position?
Can we talk to some? Hey, Mel. Good. Hey, girl.
Her position
Hi.
wasn't higher than the head coach.
How do I sound?
Okay, wait. So she was higher than him.
No, she wasn't.
She was not.
And the reason, reason we know that because we could look up the Boston Celtics organization, and there's no other women in those prominent positions.
I'll give you that.
Okay. See how emotional you are. You don't use logic.
Bitch, I have a better life than you. That's not emotion. I'm chilling over here. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Who's this other person? Who's this other person? Who's this other person?
It's okay.
It's someone that doesn't have the baby voice.
God damn. Shit. Can I get some help? Anybody? I mean, is everybody up here is just hating on the coach?
It's okay,
everybody.
Baby. Calm down.
Everybody.
You don't have
Nobody understands how you can see somebody every day at the workplace. You're both attracted to each other, and you might fuck.
Sir, I would not want to disrespect my family like that. The fuck are you talking about?
If I was paid $11.5 million a year,
like that.
I can
That's
find
ridiculous.
someone else that's not.
If you can refrain from
If I want other
shoplifting,
dick, I'm getting
you
a
can
divorce.
refrain from infidelity. It's a matter
What,
of
take
your
$11.5
sense of
million
discipline.
a year? $11.5 million a year.
You just
You
have
can't
to
find
have a
someone
sense
else
of
not
discipline.
working for the organization in a city full of millions of people. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He should have put the bag at risk. He dropped the bag. He dropped the bag.
He's in
He was
Boston.
sloppy.
Find somebody else.
No, it's not about the
He
bag.
was
It's about
sloppy and he dropped the bag. No,
respecting
it's
your
about the bag.
family.
Fuck all that. It's about the bag.
Dumb. I'm sorry.
Very
That's
sloppy.
dumb.
Very sloppy. Yeah.
It's respecting the person that you're with. You don't want to get caught and make them put them in a position like this.
Look, you don't know what was
Boston
going
Celtics
on.
don't care about that.
Look, hey,
It don't
we
matter
don't know what was going on. We don't know what kind of
fuck?
wife she was. I'm not going there with it. I don't know.
None of that
don't
shit
care
fucking
about
matters.
Especially if you got money, you don't want to divorce her and she
Why are
taking
you
half your shit. You rather
fucking
just go ahead and
yelling?
step out. So I understand a rich guy not divorcing his
have my
wife and
value
just
man
rather
A lot
cheat.
of
I get
times
that.
men
That's
overreact
true.
to being rejected from their wives, and this is the result.
What? Why would you marry me if you're going to reject me?
Because I might be ill that day, and you don't understand.
No.
You think I'm
That's not
pretending.
rejection.
You
That's
think I'm
not rejection.
No, there
That's
are
not
men.
rejection. That's being sick.
There are men that think to themselves, "Well, just because you're
Man, look,
menstruating,
if I see
what
my
that
wife
mouth do?"
throwing up all over the fucking place,
No,
I'm not gonna be mad if she doesn't want to
You know
fuck.
that's not what I'm
Okay?
talking about. I'm not talking about explosive illnesses. I'm
Well,
talking
some
about
of y'all use that as an
illnesses
excuse. Your
that
mouth
actually,
works. Your mouth works.
That's
your
your
mouth
problem.
works.
You think
if you're
women are
cramping,
using excuses.
if you're cramping, your mouth works. If you're cramping,
that's
your mouth
fucked up.
works.
That's fucked
Okay,
up.
well, you know what's
Pain
fucked
is
up? I got
pain.
this hard dick
If your
over here,
ankle is
and you
broken,
won't
I'm
do
not going
shit.
to ask you to
I'm
run
your
a damn
husband.
mile.
I've been
Okay?
working all day. I'm
If
horny
your
as fuck.
ankle
My
is
dick is
broken, I'm not
hard.
going to ask
I
you to
want to
run a
bust a
mile.
nut.
See,
Now,
this is this
I
lack of
understand that you're on your
compassion that
period.
gets
You're not
niggas in
feeling
trouble.
good. Okay,
No.
we can't fuck.
See,
But you can't give a
when
nigga
you
some
got the
head.
sniffles,
You
I'm
can't,
supposed to bring you some chicken soup, right?
hand job,
But
jacking
when
Now
off,
we see why you're not in a
all of a sudden you
relationship.
want to know what my
nuts.
mouth
You
do.
can't do
You ain't
something.
shit, nigga.
Okay. All right. And this is why you don't get married. Because if she's sick, your needs don't matter. She can't suck a dick. She can't rub your balls, jack you off, nothing. All
She
of that
can't
is
do that
off
when she's
because she's
sick.
not feeling well, guys. So fuck all of that. There's no negotiating. We can't compromise. Okay. He's not saying, okay, we can't fuck. Okay, fine. You're not feeling
When you're
good.
sick, you want her to compromise for you.
Okay. All right.
Wow. You
Again,
sound.
don't
Fuck
get
out of here with that
Don't get
bullshit.
married.
Wow. That's
Don't get married.
Why does the
Don't
Boston
get married.
Celtics care about
Don't
this?
get married. Don't get married.
Why
Don't
does
get
the
married,
Boston Celtics care about this?
Your nut is more important than your wife's health.
Nobody said that. Go ahead, whoever was.
You literally,
like
that's
Boston
what you're
Celtics.
saying.
I
That's
never-
what you're
that's not what
implying,
the
you
fuck-
fucking asshole.
I said everyone
you
heard
said
it. Who
that
else
you're
was next? Who else was
suck a
talking?
dick, nigga. We know you like to. Shit, the fuck,
Who else was talking?
bitch ass
Who else?
nigga.
So
This
number
has nothing to
16.
do with what the Boston Celtics suspended him for. They don't care about his marriage. They don't care about that at
Okay,
all. This
if
is
he
about
broke
him
company policy,
messing with
fuck it.
someone else in the
If he broke-
organization. That's all they care
Okay,
about.
if he
That's why
broke company policy, fuck it. If he broke company
did.
policy and dropped the bag,
He
okay, well then
did.
fuck him. All right, well then fuck him. Fuck him. But
That's all
trying to
it's about.
crucify this guy. I mean, you guys are on this
crucifying
moral
him?
crusade, and he was in the wrong, and he disrespected his family and all that. Shut the fuck up! You got hoes out here living with their parents, putting their pussy on
Nigga,
OnlyFans and shit.
that's
Y'all
not
ain't got
the
no
topic,
problem with
nigga.
that.
We're talking
Okay,
about the
it's
topic. I hate when y'all fucking do that.
I don't
We
want to
have
hear none of
a
you bitches
topic,
out here
and then
talking
you,
about
but you
decency,
bitches. No wonder why your
morality,
dick
or none
stay
of
dry,
that
nigga.
shit. Okay, stop it.
Yo,
Stop
I
it.
bet.
Don't give me that
Hey,
fucking
how's those
morality
glory
argument. That's
holes
all
in
I'm
the
saying.
men's room? How's that going for you? Fucking lot lizard, bitch.
What the
You
fuck this
fucking
bitch is talking
lot
about?
lizard, fucking
Here we
asshole.
go. All right. No, you're doing too much.
No, you're doing too fucking much. You're a
You're
fucking
doing too
idiot.
much. You're doing too much.
So
Now
we got,
I'm a predator. I'm a predator because I'm saying I understand how two adults that work together could possibly make a mistake and fuck. I mean, if he was sloppy and he dropped the bag, that's his
I
problem.
didn't
He was an
say
idiot.
you're a predator.
But I understand sexual attraction between people that see each other every day for hours. That's what I'm saying. I'm a predator for that. Okay. And this is nigger logic, ladies and gentlemen.
so
I
we
don't
got,
like
Logic,
you, so I'ma
nigga
make up
logic
some
is
shit. My bad. Go
thinking
ahead,
you should
GMT,
have
my bad.
sex with your coworkers and thinking it's cool because
That's right.
she's not gonna
You're
say
right.
something.
You're
You
right.
really
You're
trusted a bitch.
It's
You
a
really
risk.
trusted a
It's a
bitch with
risk.
your livelihood. That
It's a
just
risk.
shows how
It's a
fucking
risk.
dumb you are,
It's a
nigga.
risk.
Your
It's
little
a risk.
inch,
All right.
you look,
All right.
you Foda
Go
having
ahead,
nigga, you
GMT. All right.
fat
All
upper
right.
dick
All right.
area having
We
nigga.
get it.
Shut up.
Bitch, I understand it's a risk. Let
No,
the man
bitch,
read the
fuck you,
motherfucking super
nigga.
chat.
Fuck
You
you.
ain't
You fat
donating
upper
shit.
dick
Let
area having
let that
ass
man read
bitch.
his
You a
goddamn
fuck
super
nigga.
chat.
You
Let that
sit
man
here.
read his goddamn super chat.
How do
So
I
we
know?
got-
Because listening to these fucking conversations from y'all.
so
That's
we
how I
got,
fucking know.
we got a $5
Okay,
super
number
chat from number
16.
16.
Go ahead.
Says Sports Illustrated now says he made unwanted comments towards the female staffer who he was having a consensual sexual relationship with. They originally thought it was consensual. He is cooked.
Okay, if it wasn't consensual, then hey, fuck him. I don't know what to say.
Shut your ass up. See, this is stupid. Just dumb.
Bitch, I've been saying the whole time if they were
I'm glad you finally
fucking
stopped yelling.
consensually, if it was consensual fucking,
Yeah,
then
it
she
wa- it
needs to be
was.
punished. I said
It
that. Okay,
was.
GMT. So what is this bitch talking
But-
about? Now,
but
if it
then-
wasn't consensual, fuck him.
You the bitch.
But then the coach
Bitch.
made unwanted
fuck,
comments
nigga.
towards the
You
female.
a
The
fuck nigga.
female
Okay,
who he was
if
in a
it was not,
relationship with.
if they did not have any sexual consensual
they
sexual
did.
relationship at all,
He got in trouble because he made unwanted comments.
Exactly.
but
towards
it's
the
not what the
female
super chat is saying. The super chat is saying they originally thought it was consensual. So that doesn't make sense. I mean, if you so is he saying they thought the comments were consensual?
No, the
So
sex,
they had a so
the
it's
sex
been a
was
wait, hey,
consensual, but there were comments that were made that were unwanted.
I mean, if the comments were consensual, get the fuck out of here. But if they weren't, fuck them. I'm gonna say that, and I don't give a fuck. That's where I stand. If they were consensual and they're fucking, they're flirting, and they just get shit.
You sound like you got a clip.
or some shit.
You don't even
That's
sound like you got a
bullshit.
dick.
They shouldn't be punished. He's
You got
not
a clit with
harassing her.
ovaries.
Okay, there's none of that. There's no.
He got
I mean, I don't
ovaries.
agree
Your
with that.
ovaries.
I don't
Your
agree with
ovaries
that, man.
hanging
I
out,
don't agree
nigga.
with that.
Your ovaries hanging
Man,
out. Tuck it back in.
What is this? What is this? Okay, all right. I don't know what this bitch.
So we got the Trinity time travel.
You got a
says.
big clit and a
She
big ovaries.
says,
Right.
How,
Well, no.
how is
Well,
it?
Trinity, you can like GMT said earlier. You can fuck consensually, but then the guy gets weird later on, and he starts getting too. You know what I mean? He starts doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you know that. You know what I'm talking about. You've had that happen before, I'm sure. You got guys that'll fuck you, and then they just get
How
overly.
you know? Guys
They
will
start
fuck
doing
you?
too
How
much.
you know?
You know what I'm saying?
How
So.
you know? How you know a
Nigga,
guy will fuck you?
I've had friends like that.
You've
like,
had a
nigga,
friend
word,
fuck
nigga,
you?
nigga.
Whoa, sir! I thought I would take you for a
All right,
top, not
okay.
not a power bottom.
All right. But anyway, yeah, there is a such thing
that
as
shit turn you
fucking
on,
a
doesn't
chick
it?
consensually at work, and it's consensual, but then you get weird later
like to
on,
be
and you start
dominated,
stalking the
don't
bitch
you?
and all of that. Like,
I bet you like
I've
to be
heard that happen
dominated.
before. I've had friends that
I
have
bet
done
I
that
can
shit
I
at
can
work and
slap
shit.
you in your face with my feet, and you would fucking love that shit.
Sexy, I'm not. I'm
Yes,
done with you. You're
yes,
just.
you
You're just
fucking
not.
love
You're
that.
not
I'll
even.
slap the
You're
shit
not
out of
even.
you,
You're
and
not
you would
even
love that
physically
shit.
attractive to me anymore.
I
Because
am
black
physically
women, you
attractive
just.
to you.
You get
Yes.
so masculine and you don't know how to be feminine
Oh,
and
I'm
physically sexy
masculine
at the
now,
same time.
baby.
You
I'm
fuck it up.
masculine.
Like You're a tranny. Like, I see you as a transsexual right now.
Oh, you mad because your ovaries?
That's
I
just
don't want to even talk
Get
to you
your
anymore.
ovaries
I don't
off the
want to talk
floor,
to you
you're
bitch.
anymore.
weak for her.
Exactly.
No,
It's
I
always
don't want
these
to talk to her
niggas that
anymore.
really want me. They just fucking, they
I'm
love
not
to
talking to her
fucking
anymore.
like,
How
yeah.
the unwanted comments if they were having consensual sex?
It's the
Again,
standard
Trinity time.
playbook for
You can
men.
have dudes
Yep.
that'll fuck
When they
that'll
are
fuck a chick,
lusting
Them
after
but then
love
later
taps.
they
on
will
they'll
try
get too
trample
goddamn needy with the bitch. They get
they
too
will come
clingy
up
with
with
the bitch. You know what I'm
everything
saying? They
they
get
can,
pussy with. I mean, everybody's heard of that. You've
everything
had
they
friends
can
like that. I'm
to
sure
try
you
to
dated
take
dudes
you
like
over
You
that.
your
know what?
natural
I've
Matter
had
of fact,
friends like that.
I
We
would
know niggas
fucking
like that. It is what it
backhand
is.
you. I wouldn't even slap you. I would backhand you. I would. I'd backhand the fuck out of you. And you would
as
shut
long
the
as you
fuck up
use
and
that
get on your
baby
knees
voice, he
and
with
shut
it.
the fuck up. Cause I'm talking, nigga. The fuck is wrong with you? That's right. That's what the fuck I thought. Shut up. That's how you gotta talk to
As
him. I
long
didn't
as
know,
you use
Mel.
that baby voice, he with it.
I know.
Yeah, JR, they did a study. Women don't like working for women. And the average woman does not like working for other women. They would rather work for a man.
I just
There's
want to
a
make
reason.
money. I don't give a fuck who's in
There's a
charge.
reason.
As long as I'm
And that's
getting
the
paid,
and that's the
who
issue.
cares who it is?
I know when I was in the military, you don't give a fuck who it
I'm not
is.
talking to you unemployed,
Shut
single
your
mother,
ass the fuck
worn
up.
out,
Do
middle
I have
aged,
to
unemployed
backhand you
bitches on
with
this
my
panel.
left hand?
Who else is up here?
Where's
What's
my
up?
baby powder? God damn it.
I'm tired of
Where
talking
the
this.
fuck is my baby powder? Because I'm about to slap the shit out of you. And I don't want to hurt my hands.
Exactly, and leave the evidence of the powder all over his face.
So he want that. This is what he like. You see, he quiet now.
And he's gonna be like, "Look what you did to me, baby. Look what you did to me, baby."
Hit my Cash App, TVA.
We got Randy SoCal.
Money
in the
sign,
building.
sexy
Randy,
red
tell
TV.
us
I
what's on
fucking
your
can't
mind.
stand you. Now hit my Cash App. Thank you.
Tell us what's on your mind, Randy
I
SoCal.
can fuck with you. You're a little more feminine, but you too goddamn aggressive and shit. I can't even.
I can
I
be
ain't
nice.
turned on by. I'm not even turned
That's
on
because
by you. You fucked it up. You fucking too masculine. Like, I like women.
That's because you were super
What's
aggressive.
intimidated
you too.
about women
That was fake. That's fake.
That's
for
because
The
you're
a
real
so
you
man
is
like
just,
him
you know,
is that he's not
yeah,
guaranteed
nigga,
a nut.
yeah, bitch
So
ass,
it makes
whole
you
ass
feel
nigga.
bad. Like,
That's the
a
real
woman
you. That's
like
the real you. I can't even get
a woman
on
like
women like
you
that.
probably won't let me
You
get
know,
a
right?
nut.
You know what, TVA? You're right. That's definitely something I need to work
Y'all
on.
some strong bitches up here, man. I like you strong bitches.
I can work on that. I agree. I can work on it. I can
It's too
work
late.
on that.
It's too late. You should have been raised into that. That's the problem.
Well, no, because you were already up
Women
here.
like
You was
us,
hype.
when we give it to you, it's worth the wait.
Hey, at least you have a job, bitch, Chelsea. At least you have a job. You know, shout out to you for being employed. I don't give a fuck who you work for. I wouldn't want your weave-headed ass working for me. You dig what I'm saying? I don't want some dead Indian woman's
Now
hair
he
smell in my
attacking
fucking
women's hair.
office.
Do
Auntie,
you
Get the
can I
want
fuck
drop
out
her
of here.
my
weave?
link
So,
to my
you know what I'm
Do you
channel?
saying? At
want
least
her
you have a
weave? Is
job.
that what
You
it
dig what I'm
is?
saying? I'm not paying your bills. You know, get your job, get your money, get your money.
You want
Shut
her
up.
weave, don't you? You want to
Well, she
see what it
clearly
looks
has a
like on you.
YouTube because she had to get it. I mean, I'm not. Why would I answer that stupid ass fucking question?
Why
Yeah,
you
why
like
would you
this?
expose yourself
What is
that
wrong
way?
with you?
So we got
I believe
the
they both
Trinity
should be held
Time
equally
Travel Show.
responsible for
She
breaking the
says,
company's code of ethics. Get rid of them both and let them
This
battle it out
brother
in civil
is
court.
crying for help.
I agree with
in
that. I
the
agree
in
with that.
He's
It-
looking for support from brothers to join the panel.
Hey Trinity, how are you?
He's
Girl, I had
overwhelmed
asked
at
about
the
you.
moment.
I'm so glad.
Trinity, what's going on? Hey, I want to shout out Trinity. I heard you defending black men in that Baller X clip. Shout out to Baller X, Big Dog Baller X, man. 2.0. Go support his channel. Support this channel too, man. Hit the like button, y'all. But Trinity stepped up for black men. I support her, man. She really shit on the divestors. You know, shout out to her, man. I like her. I like her.
Shout out to Trinity.
so I
She
got
probably
Trinity's
had a
comment
dad
up
at
there,
home.
and I want to
I'm
ask
glad
the
to see.
panel
I'm
a
glad to see
question.
her in the chat. I'm glad she's doing well.
Hold on, I'm trying to ask the panel a question because she wants them both held responsible. But is it, from what I understand about sexual harassment and workplace stuff, it's hard to hold the underling accountable because they feel pressured because the person they're dealing with has the power in the company, so they may feel they need to consent to the relationship.
Nah, if they had a consensual sexual relationship, they need to both be punished. Bottom line. It wasn't rape. Nobody forced her to go meet up with him and fuck the guy. Now, if he got weird later, he needs to be punished for that too, harassing her at work and sending unwanted. But if it's found out that they did in fact have a consensual sexual relationship on top of that, she needs to be punished for that too. Bottom line, because she engaged in a consensual sexual relationship with a fellow employee. Period. Just because I'm higher than you doesn't mean you can't say no. You can't not meet up and fuck me and suck my dick and suck my balls and let me fuck your ass and let me bust all on your titties and do all kind of nasty fucking shit. Whatever the fuck they did. But bitch, you didn't have to show up and do that shit because I'm your superior at work.
But that's bullshit. That's the argument. That's the argument.
That's bullshit. Because plenty of women willingly fuck their bosses because they want to move up. So that's bull. And women know that. Get the fuck. That's bullshit. And you women know that. That's bullshit. You can't automatically assume force and coercion because I have a higher position than you in the company.
It's a
that's
factor.
Bullshit.
I agree. Because that's how Kamala Harris got promoted.
Thank you. Come on. Was Kamala Harris taken advantage of then? Thank you. That's a very good point.
To the top. The fuck you mean?
Right. Thank you. Come on, man. Like, that's fair, GMT. You got to give me that. You got to give her that. You can't automatically assume coercion because he had a higher position in the company. Now, if they can prove that, that's another thing. If they can show text saying, "Oh, I can get you fired," or so and so, you know, he's pushing her to do it.
The other way around,
job on the line.
TVA, sometimes it works the other way around. It'll start out consensual, and then the woman, she wants more, or he'll be the boss and she'll be the secretary and she want more, but he know he can't do that, and then she gets upset and she start threatening him. So it can work both ways.
True.
That's why the lawyers say don't do it.
Yeah, I would
regardless
never,
of who's upset, if you file a lawsuit or do whatever in court, the corporations have to pay the cost for that. They have to pay for the lawyer fees, even if you just go to trial, even if the other person doesn't win. They still have to pay their lawyers to defend the company, and they don't want that. That's why they're saying higher ups don't date the lower people, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. A woman who's in a higher position also cannot date a subordinate because it causes civil liabilities for the corporation. They don't care about your marriage. They don't care about morality. They care about their bottom line, their pockets. That's what it affects. When it affects them, that's what they care about. Other than that, they don't give a shit about anything else.
I agree with that. I respect that.
Fraternization is definitely frowned upon in professional settings.
Yeah, absolutely. If he was sloppy, just slanging dick around, just being sloppy, getting weird, getting coercive, getting clingy, you know what I'm saying? Sending 20 texts a day and all this other shit. Just, you know, he got a piece of the pussy, he fucked the bitch, and he didn't know how to just pull away and be cool about it. Be cool, nigga. Chill out. Like, yeah, the pussy good, bitch. All right, but I'm trying to get this money, you trying to get this money, so we're gonna be cool. But if he's not that kind of guy, okay, fuck that dude. I'm gonna say that. Like, real shit. I believe in holding men accountable for being simp ass niggas. Real talk. If that's what he was doing, fuck the dude. But again, we can't assume coercion just because he had a higher position. That's still bullshit.
I don't assume that. I never assume that. I always want to hear the facts. I need to hear what happened before I can just assume because I've seen this bullshit, and then it's the woman. You know what I mean? She pursued him, and he didn't want to, and he just
Keita Ward one, is that a female? I hope that's a female. She said, I will be homeless before she'll be homeless before she fucks a man to help her. Well, bitch, you go, hey, hard times are coming. You better learn how to use that pussy in that motherfucking mouth. And this is why I don't give money to homeless females. I don't. Like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. You better go suck a dick. Okay, you better go. If you have a pussy between you,
I would rather work at fucking Family Dollar or the dollar store than to go suck a dick for some fucking money. My daddy taught me better than that. My granddaddy taught me better than that. Nah, fuck you.
All right.
And that is also another reason why y'all fucking fail, because you think every woman is like that.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
They're perverts. It's
Exactly. You think just because you got money and I need it, that's it's so many other ways to make money. I could go get a fucking pack of water and sell that motherfucker for $1.
But here's the thing.
And I would rather do
If
that
he has
than suck a
money,
dick.
there are so many women that are like that he can just let you go. Okay, well, you're not okay. You can't be bought. Okay, cool. I mean, that's cool. But I mean, there are 50,000 other women over here that can.
That can be,
So what
but
then?
this
What-
pussy
so
is
what
not
then?
for exactly. There you go. I'm glad
Okay,
you know that.
all right. Okay, well, I respect that. I respect that.
It's not about you respecting it. I respect
But
myself.
if you're
as a
homeless and
motherfucker.
starving and you ain't selling no feet pictures, you ain't selling no titty pictures, you ain't doing
I am
nothing
not.
sexual for money. Nothing.
I am not. I am
She
not.
does not have
Okay.
to do that.
All right.
I went to I went
You
to the
don't get to
military.
take a
I joined the
woman's
military
choice
at
away from
29. I got out. I worked for
You have
Microsoft for a little minute.
plenty
Did
of
not like
homeless
it.
veterans.
Went
You
into
have
the beauty
plenty
industry.
of homeless veterans, and you know that.
Here I am.
Stop.
You are
You know.
male, and they're
You're
sucking dick
fucking-
for a daily meal.
That's how your
Okay,
mom is?
okay.
Your mama's to sell
I
her
want y'all to
pussy
notice it's the
anybody?
black women that
You
keep
see your
bringing
mother
gay
do
shit
this?
into the
She just sold her
conversation.
pussy
Like,
to the
ain't nobody
highest
talking
bidder.
about gay shit but these black women. I
Because
mean,
you
I want
sound
y'all to
gay,
know that.
nigga.
I want y'all to notice that.
You sound gay, nigga. That's why.
Okay, all right. Every woman thinks she's holier than thou until they say, yeah.
I would collect
see.
cans, girl. I would
Man,
instead of
look,
sleep with this fat
if y'all
motherfucker like
believe
this
that Sexy
with
Red
with
would
a
collect
fat upper
cans
dick
for hours
area
on the
where this nigga
street
ain't seen his dick
rather
in
than
5
sell a
years,
titty
I would
picture for
rather this nigga
$500,
got
you
smegma on
niggas
his
are full
dick
of shit.
and think that I
Period.
need to suck on his smegma dick to even live.
I
Fuck you,
don't know
nigga.
what this. I don't know.
Your
All right.
mother, she giving it to the highest bidder? Is that what you think? Is this what you know?
I can't compete with this
First-hand
level of
experience for you.
dysfunction. Like I
Is
can't. You
this how
smack my
come
dick
you don't
like
know your father?
what? Okay, so
If
you
you don't
said
know
that,
your
so you've
dad
done it
because
before.
your mom was selling
You
her
said
pussy.
that, so you've done it
We
before.
get it.
All you know
Got
about
it.
sucking on
My
smeg
parents
the
were
dick and
married,
all this
nigga,
other
so
shit.
hey,
So
fuck
you
you.
sucking on dirty dicks? Are you telling on yourself? Are you?
Ah,
I
your
can't
mama
look.
was out here selling
Look. If your
pussy.
breath smell like dick, cheese, and balls, bitch, I can't fuck with you.
Your
Real
mama was
talk.
selling them pussy.
Real
Your
talk.
mama
And
was
you done
selling them
told on yourself.
pussy.
Now I am 100%
Your mama was selling
turned
that
on by
Don't
this
act like
bitch.
you
If she's over here
selective,
Now,
sucking
she
nigga.
was
on
selling
dick
You're a
that
cheese,
steak and
pervert.
cooch.
we
Yeah.
have a
She was
problem.
selling that steak and
We
You're
cooch.
have
a
a
pervert.
problem.
You're not
TVA mama was
We have
selling
a
that steak
problem.
and cooch. Child. That steak and
There's a
cooch.
lot of pussy out here that
Your
can't
mama
sell.
got
Gonna
steak
rot.
and
Yeah, that's
cooch.
true, action.
How did
That's
it
true,
taste?
action.
When you came out there, mother. You nasty motherfucker.
All right, we got G on the panel. Tell us what's on your mind. G. And he dropped off.
He doesn't like your overlay. He's like, damn, I was gonna try to pull some bullshit, but he
Yo,
hit me
mama
with
got
the
steak and
overlay
cooch. Yo,
for
mama
the
got
underplay.
ah. Fucking with me. Yell at me.
Now, when you all come to the panel, be respectful. Now.
Exactly. We could do this the easy way. We could do this the hard way. What is that what you like to say, TVA? That was you. We could do this the easy way.
What
We could
did
do
you
this the hard way.
So what do you think, GMT? Do you think the man should just be completely destroyed, or should fined, or like what's the extent of the punishment, if there should be any punishment at all? What do you think?
I think a suspension is fair, and I think if after he serves his suspension, if they want to fire him, then that's fair as well. So if he serves his suspension and gets fired, then he will have to go to the open market. He will have to interview for jobs, and they'll be able to ask him about certain situations, and if they're comfortable letting him be a head coach, or if he has to work his way up and be an assistant, or if he has to go to college and work his way up, and that's what he has to do.
Okay, but now I do respect that, because again, I mean, if there's a company policy against it, you're fucking with your coworker, you're sloppy, you're just throwing dick around sloppily, nigga. I mean, that's your fault. That's your fault. However, if there was a consensual sexual relationship, do you think that the female should be punished in any way as well?
No, because she's the underling.
I think she should, because
Really?
she knew he was married, and at that moment you knew that he was off limits. So fuck that. Fuck her. Goodbye. Bye, bitch.
What was the
It has nothing to do
morality
with being
clause?
married, y'all. It's not, even if they were
It's
single,
about-
he would still be in trouble. It's not about being married.
Well, I'm just, I guess, from a moral aspect. But I mean, when you think about it, they both signed contracts to not fraternize with people they work with.
Yeah, because when you're in basketball, when they go to like different charity events, they usually bring their wives and other family to them with the charity events to support.
Yeah, she should definitely be fired for sure.
Okay, but GMT is assuming she's some kind of victim, apparently, because she shouldn't be punished at all. That's crazy to me.
Why don't you think she should be punished? Because she light skinned?
No, because she's an underling and
she grown. The fuck?
Yeah, she's grown, but you gotta remember, some women feel as though when they're dealing with a boss.
Her husband is his boss. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the
Man,
female.
she got you with that one. She got you there, bro.
Yes, the female. Her husband is his boss.
She got you there, bro.
Boss.
She got you there, GMT.
You better.
You're right. But in in this situation, yeah, and then I guess
I want that bitch gone.
She should get punished.
Okay, and there you go. Damn, Sexy Red got GMT to change his motherfucking mind. I give her credit for that. That's great. Yeah, and she got you there, nigga. Her husband is his boss, so you can't say, "Oh, well, she's scared because she's an underling and she's scared of losing her." Her husband is his boss. So
I bet that was on some get back shit. He fucked his boss wife on some get back shit.
Right. Yeah. That's what it sounds like to me. But she's fucking with the dude, and the dude is the underling of her husband. So how the fuck is she the victim, bro? Come on, GMT. You gotta. I mean, I'm glad you saw the light on that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we gotta hold women accountable when they make bad decisions.
Because women also have
twist
brains.
your arm like a motherfucker to get you to do it, and that's crazy.
Because
But at
women
least
have
you did it.
brains. They know right from wrong. They know when they fucking up. So
I mean,
no,
some
it's
of
no
them do.
pass.
Some of
You
them-
get
some
no
of them have
pass,
brains.
bitch.
Hit the like, y'all. Some of them have brains. Hit the like. Some of them have brains. It's okay to hold women accountable. Right. Sock posse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's okay. And I look. I know GMT is feeling bad right now. You know what I'm saying? He's got a tick right now. You know, he's feeling guilty right now. You know what I'm saying? He's wanting to call one of his female family members and just apologize for no reason right now because he's feeling bad because he held a female accountable, and possibly a black female accountable for her decision.
This was not a black woman.
To fuck a man that she was working with.
This has nothing to do with the black woman. Do you not look up the woman he was accused?
We don't
that's
know
been accused of being involved with this. You gotta be black woman to everything, man.
They just be making up shit.
Hold
up. Hey, I'm not gonna be up here long. I just got one question for everybody on the panel. So in the workplace, y'all saying it wouldn't have been a problem if he was single. What if two single people meet up in the workplace and then they get together, get married, and shit like that? Does that mean? Hold up, I ain't done yet.
Don't tell me what to do. Shut the fuck up, Auntie.
Hold the fuck up. Hold up.
You, nigga.
It's wrong, married or not.
I ain't done yet. I got one question. Does that mean that both of them are going to be fired because they linked up and then got married?
They both knew better because they are fraternizing.
How
it is
often
against
do
the company
people
policy.
get
Let me
together
fucking
and they
finish,
lose their job?
motherfucker. Thank you. Like I said, they knew fucking better because that's a part of the contract. It's no fraternization with coworkers in the organization. Now
And
you may
nobody
fucking
has shown
now
that
you may fucking
contract.
speak. No,
Nobody
you can
has
speak.
shown
No,
that
you can
contract.
speak now.
Show me the
You
line
can
in the
speak now.
contract that says that. There's no
You can
line
speak
in the
now.
contract that says that. They can't show it because it doesn't exist.
It
Nobody's
exists. It is
seen that.
in the contract.
In the Celtics organization employee handbook or even in Ime Udoka's damn
How the fuck do you know? Do you have it?
Do you have the
If they
handbook?
would have had it, they would have shown it.
No. Do you have the handbook?
They literally,
You
the
need
Boston
to prove
Celtics
that
literally
they
said
don't
it's in their
show it.
company guidelines. They literally said it's in their company guidelines. It's in their handbook
gracious.
that the
I don't understand.
that the higher position person cannot have a sexual
This
relationship.
is how you
with a
know
lower
men
person.
think with their dicks
And
first.
if it's grounds
They
for
think with their
termination,
dicks first. They do not
Hold
read
up,
the
hold up,
That's
fine
what they
print.
said.
Hold
That's
up.
what the
Okay, so
Boston
that means
Celtics
if you violate these rules, it's grounds for termination, right?
Yes.
So why did he
It
get
should be.
suspended and not terminated?
Because
Just
they
like
chose
Stephen
to
A.
Because there were
suspend him,
other.
and they might still fire him.
So what you're saying is they're bending the rules because they feel like it? It's so he's
You
supposed to be
don't
terminated, but they're
necessarily
only
have
suspending
to be fired you can be up to terminated. You can be suspended. You can be fined.
And it can
you
also
be
be covered up. It can also be covered up and swept under the rug like it is.
But
That's a black woman. That's a black woman. Get the fuck out of here. That is a black female. That's a black woman. Get the fuck out of here, man. Here we go. Another Me Too moment, courtesy of a black female against a black man. Y'all know, take this shit. The next time they say, well, Becky gonna get y'all in trouble, don't listen to that shit. Get your white girl. Where the white women at? Where the white women at? Where the white women at? Y'all talking about Becky gonna do this shit to us? Look at what y'all keep doing. Huh? Look at what these black women keep doing.
Did this woman get suspended for a year? Did she get suspended for a year too? Because she did the same shit he did.
She should.
We don't even know what happened totally with all these people. There's rumors he's there's two different women involved. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
She had been punished, there would be outrage right now. So that's how we know.
Company he worked for, and she did the same shit he did. Why don't she get the same damn punishment?
Facts.
Okay, and that woman that you showed, they said it's not even, that's not the person. It's a completely different person. It's a white chick that's in her 20s.
Okay, well, I can't.
There was another person that was accused, and it was not her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, we do have examples of black women doing this to black men, so I don't want to hear that shit.
My point is, it's clear as day that they picked and chose who the hell they was going to punish and what they were going to punish them for.
Right.
So I'm saying, you hear
As
people that's close to the
organization
telling
they
y'all.
No, that's grounds for lawsuit. That's grounds for lawsuit.
I got so fucking emotional.
Read the handbook.
That's grounds for lawsuit.
Every handbook. Every handbook.
Y'all got people in the organization, close to the organization, telling you this shit happens all the time, and this is not how they handle it. So why are they doing it differently now?
Shut up.
Maybe he fucked up some other way.
You can't go by the book with one employee. You can't go by the book with one employee, but then turn around and want to bullshit with another one. No, that's bullshit. That's a lawsuit.
Hey,
have you never had an HR
perhaps they got, they got tired of his mistakes.
You can make up the rules as you
maybe
fucking
this
go
isn't
along
the
with
only
black
time
folks,
he's
dog.
done it.
Straight up. That's the way it is when it's a black
with your dick, Auntie.
Are swept under the
You're
rug,
thinking with your
and
dick.
this
That's
time
why.
they're not gonna let it go.
Whatever, there was pussy involved too.
Whatever.
So whatever. How come the pussy ain't get a year suspension?
How come the dick is always the dick don't like to take responsibility and accountability for what it does?
Answer his question. How come the pussy ain't getting punished in this motherfucking situation? If it
You
was
don't know what happened because they did not.
What do y'all say all the time? It takes two to tango. Y'all hit the motherfucking like button, support the goddamn stream. It takes two to tango. That's what these bitches say when it comes to the kids, right?
I gotta bounce. Y'all have a good day. Peace, y'all.
Goodbye. Nobody cares.
It takes two to tango. That's what y'all say when it comes to the kids. That's what y'all say when it comes to the kids. It takes two to tango.
I don't have kids.
It takes two to tango. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what color the woman was. I just wanted to, if it's a black woman, I'm going to use this opportunity to emphasize, brothers, don't let these black women scare you out of dealing with Becky's. Okay, because it's bullshit acting like white women only do this. But a black woman won't get you fired. Shout out to Robin Givens. A black woman won't ruin your career over a lie. Okay, black women do this shit to black women all the time just as much. Okay, so don't fall for that shit. That's all I'm saying. Black men, get your passports, travel. Deal with other races of women. You know what I'm saying? Deal with other cultures of black women. Black women won't go to another. You know what I'm saying? Just don't let these motherfuckers scare you into only dealing with a certain group of women, or if the other women gonna come get you. That's bullshit. That's a lie. That's all I wanted to say about that. But as far as this guy and this bitch, if there was a consensual sexual motherfucking relationship in the goddamn workplace, both need to be punished. However, if he got weird and crazy later on, then okay, I understand him getting stiffer penalty.
Really need to examine this for myself. I have to do the research on this because you sound emotional. You sound like you're thinking with your dick and not.
I have a better mic than you, and that's what it is. Anyway, I'm gonna jump on
little dick of yours that can be mistaken for a clit and ovary.
I can't even talk to these transsexual females that you have on these
Is
panels.
that why
These
you
are some
attracted
rough.
to me? Because
These
you
are
think
some
I'm
rough.
trans?
These are some. No, I'm not anymore. I'm not anymore because you're too masculine. You're too goddamn. You sound like you got a strong jawline. These
You
strong
sound like you
jawline
got a
bitches.
strong
These
clit, nigga.
strong
You strong
jawline bitches you
clitoris
keep putting on
and
your
a
panels,
vulva.
GMT.
Yeah, they
I can't
got
sit
a
up here listening to
vulva. Get
masculine
your uterus
females
off of the screen,
for
sir.
long periods of time. So I got to jump
Sir,
on the
nobody
fuck
cares
down. But
about the
again, like I said,
hysterectomy.
at the
Please
end of
stop
the
it.
day, if
Nobody
there
gives
was
a
a
fuck. Nobody
consensual
cares how you lost
sexual
your fucking
relationship
pussy.
within this
Nobody cares,
workplace,
sir.
both sides need to
Get
be
your
punished.
fat
Period.
upper dick area and move,
Y'all have a good
please.
one. I'm jumping down.
Grab your fat upper dick area and move. Thank you, sir. Move over. Excuse me. This is comfortable here. Hey.
GMT, how are you today?
Hi.
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
that's
so
great.
you said I had to check in, GMT.
Yes, you have to check in.
Well, I gotta check in. I need protection. I need your protection.
And that's why you gotta check in.
Okay. So what do I gotta do?
You gotta support the platform, subscribe to one of the alternate channels. It's very
Okay.
easy.
I could do that. Y'all like, share, subscribe. I'm checking in on Grandmaster Troll's channel.
What exactly was going on with the platinum accusations?
So it appears that your boy Platinum Elite, he used to dib and dab in the porn industry as a photographer, videographer. So he had some videos with Pinky and some other porn stars interviewing him, and it appears that his identity was exposed on when he was in the porn industry.
A lot of men like porn.
Mm-hmm. But Platinum Elite, from what I understand, he's went to great lengths to hide his identity, and now his identity may have been breached.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, because what I do recall is that he didn't want to intermingle what he does outside of YouTube with his channel. I do know he has said that. He didn't want to reveal his image because he has things going on outside of YouTube that he didn't want to intermingle with his channel.
Oh God, I hate that.
That's what he said many moons ago, like at least a year or so ago. Because a lot of people were pressuring him. Why don't you show your face? We don't never see you. And his response, not to me, I didn't ask him this because I understand anonymity is for a reason. But the person that was pushing up on him and pressuring him, he said, look, I'm not going to confuse what I do online with YouTube with what I do offline that's not YouTube. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, I didn't catch the rest of the stream. Like, I didn't. So I was just trying to figure out, is this just about his face being revealed, or is there some other controversy?
Well, his face got revealed.
Okay.
And he was a part of some, I guess, adult entertainment magazines and DVDs as well. And always in the credits, they have people's names. So there's going to be people who's going to be looking up his information.
That happened to another young lady. They found the credits in a particular movie she was in, and that's how they found out her real name.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. So lessons learned. People, be advised that if you're in some type of production and people associate you with that production, that could happen.
And then let's see, Chaos Rain says, Can you prove this GMT on Platinum? I mean, his voice is Platinum Elite has a distinctive voice, and we was talking to Pinky, that was his voice. So it's been confirmed that was him.
I don't know. I guess at this point it's up to him to confirm or deny. I guess.
Remember, Sexy Red was done in the dark is always brought to the light.
What I do? What I do
Oh, I
now?
just said what's done in the dark is always brought to the light.
Yeah, I know.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, have you guys got any final thoughts?
It was a pleasure to be received again. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's always good to hear from you, Melba.
Oh, Sexy Red,
I do.
I remember the first time I experienced you interacting with me on a panel. It was so sisterly accepting. And
We
then I
always
found
have
out
a
you're a
good time.
veteran too. I was
Yes.
like, yeah, that's that woman right there. You know,
Sometimes I
I'm
call
very-
and check on you in the stream and check on you.
I'm just real soft hearted when it comes to veterans.
Me too.
Yeah. So I'm not so quick to throw veterans under the bus. If anybody has ever observed me over the years, I'm not quick to throw veterans under the bus at all.
Yes. They require a little bit more understanding.
Unless they got like a closet full of skin cat hair or some shit. Then I'm like, damn, you need to go to the VA and get some medical treatment.
Mm-hmm. Definitely do that.
But for the most part, veterans that I've experienced online, they're not really unsavory.
Mm-hmm.
They just we have different types of personalities, and we have familiarity with what it takes to go through basic training. That alone, is something I consider as giving somebody the benefit of the doubt until there's like something else I have to consider.
And that's where you learn not to sleep with someone that you work with.
Fraternization.
Mm-hmm.
UCMJ, baby.
Right. Shit, he fine, but fuck that. Ain't
I
worth
could
my
be attracted to
career.
an officer till the
Man.
cows come home, but that's a no touch.
It was some
zone.
fine brothers. Do you
Oh my
hear
God.
me?
Oh my God, Major Brown. Okay,
I have got to act like you are ugly to me. I do
gotta
not like
pretend.
you. What do you want from me? You
I
are
got-
fine
yeah,
as fuck.
I have to pretend
Sign this
that
paper
somebody-
and get the fuck out of my face, sir. Thank you.
Exactly.
So y'all never messed with a male co-worker before?
We're talking about officers and enlistees.
Yeah, we're talking about. We're not talking about that. We're talking about
Yeah, officers cannot fraternize with enlistees and vice
Enlisted.
versa. That's just the UCMJ period. If you get
But
caught
that- yes,
doing that,
I have
shit, there's no
TMT.
I'm sneaking, taking you out here, there. We have a little sex on the side. There's none of that in the
I have
military.
GMT before, and I regret it.
Wait, you got away with it.
It was good, but yeah, I did.
You got away with it. Damn.
Yeah, so that's how I learned, because dude got a little too attached, and I can't have it.
Now, once you get out of the military, that officer can.
It was actually before I got in the military. Not when I was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I didn't want to risk my career. Shit, I wanted my GI Bill bad as a motherfucker. Okay.
And
I
other
ain't give a
benefits,
fuck.
too.
I wouldn't fuck with nobody.
That honorable status is a hell of a thing. It can set you up for life in a good way. So yeah, I wouldn't risk it for no dick. Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying this coach, he was paid $11.5 million a year. It was his second year at the job, and who he had an affair with, allegedly, is the wife of a senior vice president of his corporation that he worked with. So it wasn't just an underling.
Mm-hmm.
It was the wife of a senior executive. So it's your underling and also someone who's part of the executive branch of the corporation that you work with, that you
It
work
really
for.
seemed like some get back.
That sounds complicated.
It's some get back shit, don't it?
But this is why the corporations have the guideline. Because remember, it's not just the fact that you could get sued, it also could cause friction and troubles inside the organization. So yeah, the husband's gonna feel some sort of way about you fucking his wife. That's gonna cause problems in the organization. That's why they say don't do stuff like this.
You gotta learn to turn your pussy off and on. You can't just have your pussy on all the time.
Right, but you're causing problems for the organization, and that's why they are coming down on him. This is not just the fact that he's cheating on his wife.
Wait a minute,
NBA never cares about
her
infidelity.
pussy in her purse. That's what she should
Are
have did.
orgies with non-disclosure agreements allowed?
What? In the NBA, they don't care if it's even with the NBA. NBA is one of the most whorish organizations out there. They're always having affairs all the time. They don't care if you cheat on your spouse.
Yeah,
you see those basketball shorts that they be wearing? Slutty. You see how slutty they are?
They've been doing that.
Arms all out,
They never
sweating all
fire
over the place
someone.
and shit. Slutting
Yeah, they
it out.
never fire you or
I saw a
suspend you or
documentary
anything
about
for cheating
Michael
on your
Jordan
spouse.
and how his wife had him under surveillance for years, like for 10 years. And the only reason why she was able to get evidence about him having adulterous affairs, which led to her big ass divorce settlement, is because he was always fucking with his playmate, like the guys that he was playing with. That is, they had a little group that always catered to each other, and that's how she was able to get that damn private investigator to get all the goddamn specific evidence, which granted her like $150 million in a divorce settlement. She played that
I'm
shit.
saying the NBA, the owners are doing this.
NBA,
the owners to the
yeah,
ball
they full of
boys
whores.
do this. This is nothing new. It's
They
the
full of
fact
whores
that
on
he
both
had
sides.
the specific woman he had sex with. Number one, she's an underling, and also she's married to one of the executives of the organization. Of course, they're gonna come down on him.
I still want to talk about
one
how
of the dumbest
slutty
things I can think of. Why
basketball
would we
shorts
know that
are.
How do we know he wasn't set up?
That.
It don't matter if you're set up. If your dick is inside that woman, you stupid.
Wow. So I got a question for you.
I'm just saying, you're paid $11.5 million a year.
Okay, but I got
dude, seriously.
Hey, what's up, baby? But I got a question. But I got a question for you, right? I got a question for it because I've been listening for quite a while, and you're painting this as though it is a one-sided event, like it's all his fault, which it is because. Wait a minute, which it is because he did do what he did. Okay, but wouldn't some 50% of the blame be on her for not stopping it?
It could.
So
it would.
So wait a minute. So why is it that it sounds like it's a one? See, this is the problem that I have in these conversations. It's always a one-sided affair. I tell the niggas the same thing. I tell the black men the same thing. It's always a one-sided affair. It's always the women, the women, the women. The women always say it's the men, the men. Wait, baby. I heard you. You. I'm not talking about anybody on this panel specifically. I'm just saying what I'm hearing.
Oh, yes.
And this is like the third conversation that I've listened to pertaining to sports, and women have spoke on this topic. And all the women say, well, it's his fault. He should have kept his dick in his pants. But not one time did I hear any woman say, well, she should have kept her legs closed. She should have told, I know you did. I'm not talking about anybody here.
I say shit.
I'm giving you props.
Nobody say it.
I'm giving you props. I'm saying from previous places I've been and listened to, I have not. You are the first one that said, well, she should have kept her leg closed. She should have went and told and said, hey, look, this is not going to be, I'm not going to be involved in this. I don't want to do this with you. I'm a married woman. You are engaged. And I kind of know because they done been around each other. So she knows who he's engaged to or married to or whatever. We got to stop the bullshit. And we want to make it a one-sided affair. See, I'm for what's right, down the middle, straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. She's just as much to blame for this as he is. She could have said, hey, you know I'm married. I'm not going to do if you say one more thing about having sex with me or being intimate with me, I'm going to take it to higher. She could have said that.
If it was a setup.
Exactly. But what we like to do in these conversations, and I just had a conversation last night on a panel. What we like to do in these conversations, we don't like to be down the middle. We want to pick sides, and that's what's keeping this whole thing on flame. Instead of saying, well, this is how I see it. Okay, she was fucked up right there. And this is the problem that a lot of men are having in this space.
A lot of brothers in the manosphere and other places are having this problem because a lot of women will not simply place the accountability on the other half of the equation.
Okay,
That's the
with that being
problem.
said,
But this isn't divorce court.
Okay.
It doesn't matter
This is
whether
actually the corporate organization's handbook.
it is.
Ain't
It is the
about
corporate. It is the corporate organization. So watch what's going to happen. Even though both of them are guilty, watch what happens because this is the society in which we live in. The bulk of the blame, if not all of the blame, right now, all of the blame is going to be shifted towards him. She's not going to receive any retribution
because he has
whatsoever.
the higher position. Whether
It
it was
doesn't
a
matter.
man or woman,
It doesn't.
married
It
or
does.
single.
See, again, it
If
doesn't
you
matter.
have the higher position,
Let me ask you a question.
You have the
Let me ask you a
biggest
question.
fault.
Let me ask you a question. Right is right and wrong is wrong, correct?
Ah, here you go with this shit. Just
Let me
go.
ask
I already agreed with you. Yes, that's true.
Go ahead.
I'm saying
I'm
this
here.
is not. This is not. If you were in divorce court, that would stand. But it's not divorce court.
Been there a
This
couple of
is-
times.
All right.
Been there a couple of times.
Okay,
so I
but I'm
understand
saying
where you're going.
it's the corporate handbook.
I know how the
They
corporate
go. They
handbook
don't
handles
go
it.
by who's married. They don't go by who's right and wrong. They go by your
Position
level.
of power.
If
Okay,
you
got it.
Ultimately,
position of power. That's all it's
he
about.
fell into her pussy, and he shouldn't have done it. Period.
I think about it from a moral standpoint. Like I know better. I don't want to ruin.
Thank you.
family.
Thank you. You know better. You would have
Corporations do
said.
not give a damn about
We're not talking
morality.
about.
I'm not trying to be
We're
mean.
not
I'm just
talking
saying
about.
they don't care about morality.
We're not
Also,
talking
know
about
that
corporations.
as a
We're talking
woman,
about individuals. We're not
as
talking
a
about
woman,
corporations. We're talking
But
about
the Boston
individuals on an
Celtics
individual
are the
level.
one that suspended him.
We
It's
know
not
this.
an
But we're
individual that suspended him. The corporation
okay.
suspended
Can you
him.
listen for a moment? We're talking about two individuals at the point of contact behind closed doors. They each had a moral responsibility to not only themselves but other people who were involved. We know how the corporation is going to look at it, but at the point of contact behind those closed doors, when he initially propositioned her, or if she initially propositioned him, we don't know how it went down. What should have happened was they both should have said, "Hey, no. This is not gonna. This ain't what we need to be doing. This is wrong on all levels."
That's what
And
should have
that
happened.
way the corporation,
that's what should have fucking happened.
and that way the corporation
Okay.
wouldn't be making decisions. But what's going to happen is the corporation is going to take actions against him, even though they were both involved because of his position and power. That I agree with. At the end of the day, they're both guilty, so they both should receive punishment. You want equality? Now you have to suffer equally.
I agree.
It's not about the quality of genders. It's a quality of position.
If it had been a
That's
black
what I'm
man,
saying.
if he had been the subordinate in this situation, I guarantee you he still would have received more punishment, if not all of the punishment,
No,
simply
he
because
would
he's a
not
man.
have.
Yes, he would have. That's how society works.
Let me
Now
ask you
let's
this
unpack
question.
that.
Okay, that's
Go
Why
ahead,
not how
do you think that he would not have received punishment?
I didn't say he would not have. I said he would have, even if she was the coach and he
No.
was the subordinate.
I'm referring to the young lady on the panel. She said he would not have received the punishment.
He would not have.
How would he not have?
Because he's not the higher
Girl,
up position.
Girl,
Dude,
no,
seriously.
No,
Have
because
y'all
he's a
never had
man.
a HR. You've never had
Thank
an
you.
HR
Dude,
meeting before?
I would
Where
say
they
that the
break
man is
down how
always
it works?
made to be the predator in these types of situations.
Let me ask
Like
you
we
this question.
can't.
Let me ask
Go
you
ahead,
this question,
shit.
General.
Go ahead, brother.
Who is the superior gender, the female or the male?
We're
Male.
basing it on equality now because we live in an equal society.
Male.
I'm asking
It's
you, who's
not
the superior
about the
gender?
gender. It's about the position. If the woman was in the higher up position, she would face the same punishment he would.
No,
That's what I'm trying to say. It's
I
not
don't agree
about
with that.
gender.
No, there would
I don't agree with
Okay, again,
there would
if you paid
automatically
attention to HR
there would
meetings, they
auto-
break it down to you. It's in the
Are you just gonna-
guidelines. It's in the handbook. I mean, I
Okay,
don't know what to
So
say.
you're saying that there's no concentrated effort to bring down a powerful black man? It's just rule book stuff.
No,
Like
Mela,
I
this
think
is the
I'm not
problem,
speaking
Mela.
to you.
I know.
I'm referring to her comment about how there's no bias. There is a bias when it comes to a powerful black man. A powerful black man is intimidating.
The white CEO of McDonald's went through the same thing. The white CEO of McDonald's.
We're not talking about white McDonald's CEOs. We're talking about this instance.
It's
this
about
man,
the corporate. guys.
Hold on. In the event that this black man got a little too cocky in the conference rooms, there is a possibility that an effort was concocted for him to be taken
To
down.
get his ass out of there. You're right,
So
Bella.
it was concocted for this black man to put his penis inside of a married,
don't act like that shit don't
subordinate
happen.
white woman. That's what you're saying.
When a black man
now
was
women
in
are-
the conference room amongst white
Again.
men, they said that nigga got too much power.
So
we gotta do something
it was the
about
Boston Celtics who said,
Come on,
we're going to
now.
hire
Don't act
this
like
black
that shit
man.
don't
We're going to pay him $11.5 million, and we're going to have his white
And they
female
will
married
humiliate him.
subordinate
They will try to send
open
him
her
somewhere with
legs.
his
He
tail
just going to
between
slip
his
it
legs.
right in,
Yes,
and that's what
they
we're
do
going to
that
have happen.
shit.
No,
They don't
y'all
like
making
cocky
no
black
sense at
men
all.
in corporate
No,
America.
we're
It's as simple
making
as that.
she's
It
making
ain't
perfectly
nothing to
good
do
sense.
with that,
Because let me
y'all.
give
Not
you an
everything's
example.
black.
Let me give you an example. I'm basing it I'm basing it off of
Fuck
man and
that
woman.
shit. A lot of shit is black and white. That's
Exactly.
bullshit.
But let me give you an
What you
example.
say. The
Let me
fuck?
give you an
I'm
example.
light skinned and I say that shit. What the
I
fuck you
spent
talking about?
I spent 24 years in the United States Armed Forces. I've known plenty of female senior commanders fuck around with a subordinate. You know who they kicked out of the Army? It wasn't that senior female commander.
Yep.
It was those little fucking sergeants and them little goddamn staff sergeants that were kicked out for fraternization. They looked at it and said, well, no, it couldn't have been the woman. It had, but she was the aggressor. I sat at the court martial. This is why I know it happens, because I've seen it too many times. I've seen senior females in the armed forces, not just the Army, by the way, get away with all kind of shit, and they blame the man. That's my point.
Now, on the other hand, I have seen with the United States Postal Service a woman who had a subordinate coerced him into believing that if you don't, do whatever sexual escapades I command you to do, then your job may not be secure. And
There you go.
do you know that there was evidence of her making those types of threats, and she is now serving federal time.
Good.
And she was married. Yeah.
Good
It
for
happens.
him. Good for
It
her.
happens both ways. But what I'm
Bitch.
saying is,
Oh, it's not
what we
you.
what,
Not her.
what we can't do is excuse the behavior every time there's a situation like that. They both were wrong. I'll be the first to tell you that. Yes, they both were wrong. But in my opinion, since everything in this society is supposed to be equal now, not based off of male, female, you both should receive some punishment. She's not going to go anywhere, even though she was a participating, willing partner in the crime that was committed. She's not going anywhere.
Well, maybe she proved coercion. See, that's the
No, they said it was
underlying
consensual.
thing. Well,
They said it
see,
was consensual. She even came out and said it was consensual. It's been all over the major sport networks.
oh, okay, I
It's,
didn't know that. Okay.
it's been. She even
Because
came out and said it
consensual
was
and married,
consensual.
consensual, married, and gender have nothing to do with it. Again, it's about the position. He was in a higher position. That's all it's about.
DMT.
I'm sorry.
Nasty.
I'm saying in the past and other corporations, maybe that's true. I'm saying for this particular one, that's all they went over. They investigated.
And
that's all they
why
decided. Did it happen? Was he higher up? Boom. That was it.
That's why fraternization is discouraged, because there is the
Yep.
element of coercion that
Yep.
the person in a higher position holds. That's a underlining assumption. Period. Like
It's ultimately his fault, and I agree. It's because he was the one in the senior position. Outside of that, he knew he was wrong. Both of them knew, and I'm gonna continue to hammer this point home. Both of them knew that it was wrong for them to be engaging in that type of activity. However, comma pause, he had more to lose. So therefore, I would agree with your statement, sister. It is about positional power. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is, all things being fair, which this is where we are in a fair, equal, just society now, she deserves to be punished as well. If he's going to be suspended or lose his job, she should be suspended and lose her job, because we're talking about the system of equality now.
But my
Yeah,
only point
can we
was
review
it's not
what-
about the cheating. That's what I'm saying. If it was, then yeah, I would agree with that. But I'm saying from the organization's point of view, it's not about the cheating. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
Let's
saying she's
address
right.
what Grandmaster Troll asked earlier. Who is, what was the question? Who's better or who's in a more powerful position in mankind, women or men? Is that the nature of your question, GMT?
Yes.
Okay, because I don't think we actually answered. Well, some of women did. Some of the women did. The general, do you think men are innately more powerful overall than women, and if so, why?
When you talk about certain aspects of it, physically, yes. In most cases, in certain positions, yes. But I would tell you, as we live in a modern day society and we see where the playing field has now supposedly equaled out, I would tell you that no, that is not the case. Simple reason why is because you can look at politics and tell. You can look at a myriad of other things and tell that the gap as far as who has more control, who's more superior, has closed. A lot of people don't want to admit to that because they're still looking at it from an old 35, 40-year ago process. Today's modern woman is just as equal, if not more equal, well, not greater than men. And the reason for that being is because of the political climate in this country.
I've been missing the way you say modern, baby.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you also, any event that Kamala becomes president, would you have a problem with that?
Can you say modern?
I love the way he says modern.
Yeah, that's
Modern.
cute.
Makes me
No,
want to tickle
well,
his ear.
well, here it is. On the political side of the game, this is where I stand. I understand a little bit about politics. I studied it when I went to university, higher levels, and military and all that great shit, political science degree and all of that. I understand what politics are. Politics is mainly high theater, right? It's two birds of the same feather that's going to receive the same outcome. They're just going to go about it in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's what politics is. And I really get a kick out of listening to these people discuss politics on the open forum because a lot of people really don't understand what it is. Right?
Can I be transparent with you?
Sure.
I don't know anything about politics. I don't want to be involved. I kind of think that's like for men. That sounds old fashioned, probably, but
I beg to differ, and I'll
I
tell
think
you why.
so.
The public
Well, there are
school system,
certain. I think there are certain aspects that women do go through
I think,
that should be covered. Yeah.
well, to be acclimated begins in childhood to some ideology, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there's no accident that civics was removed from the public school system. I believe that had we been exposed, just like we were exposed to arithmetic, like there are people that are just adamant that they cannot tolerate mathematics. It's just not their thing. However, it doesn't negate the fact that they were introduced to it and have become familiar with it enough to apply it in areas of their life that are significant. I believe that has civics remained in the public school system as a curriculum, that even though we might not quote unquote have an interest in it, it doesn't mean that we wouldn't be able to navigate choices that affect our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Most people,
Yeah.
even with civics, because I went to school at a time where civics was highly, taught. It was a part of the main curriculum, and you had to get a goal or passing grade in that particular class. I would tell you, even the civics that most high schoolers received at that particular time was very inadequate. This is the reason why you have people now that are in their 30s, 40s, and some are even in their 50s and approaching 60 that really don't understand how politics work or what politics are all about. Politics, again, is high theater, right? This is why you have all these different groups divided into subgroups, divided into the three main groups that we have. You only really have three main groups of politicians in this country. All that left, right, and all that other bullshit. You got the politics, you got the Democrats, you got the Republicans, you have the Independents. And within those three groups, and there are many more little small fractured groups out there, but within those three groups, now you got, you got the starch, the what they call starch collar conservative Republicans, and you got the all these other little different fucking subcategories and groups that are in there with their own agendas to push, right? So as far as politics are concerned, I don't really have a weigh in on the one side or the other. I look at the candidate, what the candidate presents to the general public, and that's the way that I'm basically going to go according to how I feel, which that's what most people do. Most people in this country, they want lower taxes, right? They want more money in their pockets, right? So if a candidate comes up, be it a Democrat or a Republican, and that's his agenda, guess who most people in this country are going to vote for? Most people want a safe country, right? That means that they want a strong military, right? This is why candidates use the military as a sticking point to push their rise to political fame,
Oh yeah, they always pander to military ideals. Yeah.
right? So the Democrats are good at keeping us out of war, but yet keeping the military strong. The Republicans are good at putting us in war, but yet and still keeping the military strong. You see how it works? It's two birds of the same feather.
Okay,
When you
now speaking of politics, there's a thing called YouTube politics. Do you believe that it infringes upon the rights of someone when they have found their picture being exposed when adamantly that's what they were trying to prevent?
Well, because we live in a climate today where if you make something public on a digital server, right? If I post a picture on a digital server and I'm talking to you on this channel, right? Like my picture right now. If you are able or have the ability to go and use that picture and find out the time, the date, and the place and all that good stuff, and then gather other pictures that I did not put out, you are in the wrong, in my opinion. But anything that's put out for public use, which most people post pictures on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all these other places, right? Once it leaves your physical command, once you hit send or post, it no longer belongs to you. It belongs to the public.
Okay, another question I have for you since we have you here. Do you believe, as you've said, in your actual spirit and constitution of being, that women who find themselves on panels with men are actually looking for male attention? Because you've said that. As opposed to objectively contributing to a conversation.
Hold on. Now, I will clear that statement up. I don't have a
Yeah,
problem. Anything
clear
that
that
I
up.
said that can be replayed, I'll clear it up. There are some women who have come to certain spaces and their agenda was to find a date or a kickoff or a roundabout or a sneaky link. We can't deny that because we know that we've known that it has happened, right? I think for the most part in this space, no one truly knows what a person's agenda is. That's why a lot of people come up here and they get surprised when shit's exposed about them that they thought. When I came to this space, I let everything be known because I knew I researched it first. I watched for months, but I knew how the game was played. And I knew that I was going to say some things that were going to twist some people's arms and they weren't going to like what I had to say. And the only way that they could seek retribution was to go and try and dig into my background and post shit. And, oh, yeah, this nigga say this, that, and the third. And that was fine with me. That's why I let everything be known. That's why I talk about my relationships and marriages, because I was involved in one of those conversations at the time. So I felt that it'd be best for me to put it out there before anyone else try to grab it and try to put it out there, which I really don't give a fuck.
That was very masculine of you.
Which I really don't. And the reason why is because I really don't give a fuck. Nobody knows me personally. What can they do to me in the digital space?
Exactly. And that's the point that people need to understand, in my humble opinion. When it comes
when you have an agenda and you're pushing an agenda.
You just gonna interrupt me in the middle of my sentence?
Girl, he do that all the time.
I'm sorry.
He's passionate right now. Go ahead, express your passion, baby.
Go ahead.
When you have an agenda and you're pushing an agenda and you're speaking against the very things that you have committed and that you are guilty of, and you're acting as though you didn't do any of that, and then it pops out and turns up that you did. If I'm sitting here telling you I served in the United States Army for 24 years, somebody digs into my background and found out that nigga got kicked out the Army after his first 4 years, what would that make me look like? How could I defend that? If I'm sitting up here telling you I don't fuck with white women, never have, never will, but I got a whole white woman laying up at my house every goddamn night that I'm sleeping and I'm fucking and I'm screwing. What would I look like? You see what I'm saying? What would I look like? How could I defend that when I'm going up here and I'm speaking to the public and I'm telling people in the public, oh, well, I don't dox and doxing, and then I'm the very motherfucker that's guilty of doxing.
Yeah, the hypocrisy.
A lot of people are afraid of the conversation. Go ahead, sister. I'm sorry.
The hypocrisy is allowable. And to be honest, that is a part of what keeps things going. Unfortunately.
But why does it not keep things going in other sectors? When I go to other sectors and other groups and other black people from other areas, and in particularly in New York and Los Angeles, when I get outside of certain spaces, and I consume content from everywhere, basically, right? I don't hear that. I don't hear that in other communities. See, that is a problem that we have in our community.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what turns me on is when people discuss what a living trust is. That's what turns me on. We don't hear those types of conversations in these types of Black YouTube spaces. We hear
You do. You got the Black Brain Trust, but nobody wants to hear them because that's not what tickles. That's not what get niggas tickle spot or funny bone triggered. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear the brothers that are talking about Bitcoin and investing. Nobody wants to hear the brothers that are talking about how to buy properties. They don't want to hear that.
It's about what one chooses to be, quote unquote, addicted to. When a person is addicted to forward thinking, they're going to look for channels that endorse ideologies of forward thinking and all.
Okay, but Mela, listen to what I'm saying.
And then when it comes to spectacles, like I'm just here for the spectacle, otherwise known as drama. A lot of people due to their previous exposure of what they have found to stimulate them, that makes them laugh out. Because believe it or not, a lot of people just looking for a goddamn laugh. Okay. And they don't care whose expense they don't care at whose expense at which that laugh will come from. They want to fucking laugh. And a lot of these spectacles of exposures and things that humiliate people, or so they think, it feeds that beast of I want somebody to make me laugh. And then you have other people who are looking for, I need information that's going to drive me forward to benefit my offspring from generations to come. And they look for that. So it depends on the individual or a combination. Some people like both.
What I'm saying is, Mela, and what we're both saying is this. The overwhelming majority, 80% of the people that operate within the YouTube streets and the black sphere of the YouTube streets are not looking or trying to engage with channels that are going to show them how to better the position that they're in. 80 to 85% of the people here are looking for drama, bullshit. Who's going to put out the next information on the next person?
Not 85%.
85%. And here's why I can tell you that. I did a test run myself. I did a test run right here in the YouTube, in these very YouTube streets. Well, myself and another content creator who will remain nameless. This content creator had a channel with about 1,130 some odd subscribers, right? He said, you know what? We're going to do something. We were in, we talking, I know the guy. And he said, I'm going to try this social experience. I said, okay, let's do it. He said, we're going to do a panel, and it's going to be just a strictly bullshit panel talking about niggas and bitches and nigga shit and see what happens. Do you know that in less than motherfucking a month, his subscription doubled?
Damn.
And when we went back to talking about, Bitcoin, when he went back to talking about Bitcoin investment, his viewership went down and his subscribership went down. So that's a problem within our community. We cannot say, well, some
and I'll
people.
tell you where it comes from.
Let me finish. We know that some people are here for bullshit. Who gonna put out what information on this person? That's a low. Period. I'm gonna say it. That's a low vibrational system of operations that a lot of black people are operating on in today's society.
Yes, I was mentioning how our melanin is innately developed for synchronization. And what interrupts that synchronization is media influence. And depending on how someone conducts a media influence agenda, that will disrupt our natural innate.
I gotta drop down, GMT.
Where you going? You can't leave.
We want you here.
I gotta check in. I had to check in, so I gotta check out.
Who? You ain't got nobody to check in.
I don't know what I got. Okay.
Don't make me beg you. that shit is embarrassing.
I'm getting ready.
How long you gonna be gone?
I'm gonna be live later. I'm gonna be live later.
You'll be live later. Okay.
I think I'm gonna cam up today.
Bullshit.
All right. We'll
Mm-hmm.
be there.
Put the cash at the gym.
Red TV is her channel. Everybody
No,
be
I'm
there.
just
Be
messing,
square.
y'all. Thank you so much, GMT, for having me. I love you, Mela. See you, the general. Have a good day,
All right, love.
everyone.
Have a good day.
All right. Catch you later, baby. All right.
But that's
I
just
was.
it, Mella. You see,
Oh,
that's the
God
game
damn
that's
it. I
being
was in
played.
the middle.
Go ahead. Well, you got see, I'll be
I'm
tripping. But
about to
go
be
ahead.
philosophical and you just putting a wedge in it.
No, I said go ahead. I was
What
just
else
saying,
do
I
you
was
want to put
caveating
in
off
it?
what you said.
Okay. Now, I think, as you've mentioned, it has a source. Let's wipe the slate clean and just initiate the idea that it has a source. I believe from times where I've grown up, I was forced to watch on television with my elders dramas, right? I didn't have any choice in the matter. They had that one, console television in the house, and if I wanted to sit in the good room with the adults, I was forced to watch Dallas and soap operas and things of that nature. And so the drama centered initiation starts from influential years. And I think that's why even people that know better, they know that the drama is a waste of time compared to how they can construct a better life for themselves. There is something that has been planted in them that appreciates the drama, and once you know yourself, you'll understand that okay, that's just some influence from my childhood that didn't serve a purpose. What serves a purpose is for me to learn something new that enriches my life every day. And when people can distinguish, why they crave something, I think they'll make better decisions. You know, it's not that
Exactly.
they have to unsubscribe from anybody. It's not that they can't appreciate anybody. It's about balance. And that's all I want to say. Thanks for listening.
Exactly. I agree with that. However, come a pause, what's happening in our community is that the vast majority of 20, 30, 40, 50-year olds are stuck in the state of arrested development. That's what's happening here. We're operating as though we're in a second stage of our teenage and early 20s, early 20 years of being 20 years old. That's what's happening in this particular space. Nobody wants to grow up. Everybody is still talking about the same old shit. I've watched it year in and year out.
You have to keep in mind.
The same old conversations continue to circulate. It's getting ready to be wintertime. The same conversations that they were talking about last winter are about to make a recircle. Let's circumvent. That's why I personally stopped going to certain areas. I'll make an appearance every now and then if I feel like
Well,
entertaining the
exactly.
conversation. But other than that, I stopped going to so many different places, and I started focusing on things that were gonna, like, for example, I'm getting ready to invest in this quadplex, right? I'm getting ready to buy a piece of property. I'm going to put a fourplex, a duplex, well, two duplexes on it, right? And the reason why I'm getting ready to do that is because I understand what's coming down the pike socially and economically. I understand
Well, put
that,
your
and I've
email
been
in the back
understanding this
so
for
I can
quite.
find out how to get in without having sex with you.
See, you know what?
I'm just telling jokes, man.
No.
Look, I agree with what you're saying about arrested development. What I have found myself doing is relating to people who have histories I can't relate to. And that is what was a shocker for me. I hadn't considered that when it comes to arrested development, people have experienced traumas that I was never exposed to. And so how is it that I can actually have a constructive conversation with somebody that underneath it all truly believes that nobody can relate to their pain? You see what I'm saying? So that's why when we introduce things like well, let's talk about living trust, let's talk about creativity, let's talk about things that enhance our children, they don't want to talk about that because they, as you say, are in arrested development. They want to stay stuck on the bullshit that caused them trauma. And so here we have spectacles of hilarity as opposed to focusing on what enriches our people. Now, when you're talking about investing in a property, very few of us are actually talking about that. We're too busy making each other laugh as to
Well,
distract from
it's
pain.
it's not necessarily about making each other laugh. What is okay? So we in the the black community, black people in this country, we get caught up into things that we really shouldn't get caught up into. My car got bigger rims on it than yours. My chain is bigger than yours. It's in our music. It's been proliferated. Oh, my jeans, it costs more than you. My shoes cost more. We get caught up into nigger trinkets, as I like to call it. Whereas there are certain people here who understand that there are levels, and once you start to unpeel the levels back, the layers back, you will understand how a lot of people begin to think. Social content is one way of pushing the thought process of the mind. This is why people are talking about how our music, the genre music that we listen to, is causing killings. No, not necessarily. What's causing the killings is because people have blurred the line, the distinction of a line between reality and what's fantasy. That's what's happening here.
Yeah. At the same time, we have to respect content creators' bottom line as conducting a livelihood. And when someone's channel is constructed in such a way where you can pick up on, it's better to bring the traffic in with hilarity as opposed to seriousness. As a panel guest, I consider that as well. That's why I will, say something outrageous and joke with people. That's not my true interest. However, out of respect for that channel holder, knowing that they are conducting their live stream most likely for the purpose of a livelihood, and they know that the numbers come in when there's hilarity, I do contribute jokes every once in a while. I really do.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but the timing has to be inexplicably correct. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're engaged in a great, just because you say something and you get a laugh out of 8 people on the panel, that doesn't mean that the timing it could destroy a conversation that's very meaningful. You know what I mean? Maybe not to you, and maybe not to 2, 3 other people on the panel, but some people are actually trying to get something out of it when they're involved.
A channel holder is not looking for a meaningful conversation. They're looking to bring traffic to their channel.
I understand that. In the beginning, everybody uses. I understand marketing. Okay, I was a recruiter for the Army for fucking 6 years. I understand marketing. I understand how that works. I understand that I need to present something that is uncommonly being presented to everyone else to draw and attract traffic to my particular channel. Like, for example, when I get ready to start my channel, it's the War Room, right? People are going to automatically think because of the name it's going to be about some bullshit, but in all reality, it's not. It's going to be about trying to get veterans the things that they need to get. It's going to be about trying to help black people understand how the society that we're in is drastically changing before our very eyes. It's not going to be so much as about bullshit. I'm sure there'll be some laughs and some chucks, and I'll do a couple of panels at some point in time where it is just people just chopping it up. I think that when people come and they have a channel, this is just my personal opinion. If I present a topic and you come up there and I'm talking about apples today on this particular 2-hour stretch, and you want to insert fucking trucks and motorcycles, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about fruit, apples, oranges, grapes. That's what we're talking about. You see?
Yeah.
So what happens what happens is in the construct, even though there may be some comedy talking about apples and oranges and all that shit, if somebody comes up there and they want to talk about trucks and cars and motorcycles, even though it might be a symbol of comedy added to it, it could ultimately destroy the conversation. And that's what happens in a lot of these spaces when people are trying to have certain conversations. Every person is not meant to be involved in every conversation. This is how I see it.
All right. I see the banner with RBR Network, respect to the real brother. I was on this panel the other evening or afternoon, and my intention, believe it or not, was to discuss whether or not Donald Trump is going to jail. It erupted into a whole nother situation for hours. Okay. And those things are to be facilitated by the channel holder. In the event the channel holder is more interested in how the eruption benefits them, they will allow it. Are you saying that with your upcoming channel, you won't allow any disruption from the topic at hand, even if it brings more traffic to your channel?
No, because
Are
I
you
gave
saying
you.
that?
Yes, I am saying that, and I'll tell you why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because the conversations that I will be having will be intended to bring knowledge, the knowledge that I have and the knowledge that other people have as my guests. So if we're sharing knowledge on how to build and how Black people can create a grip for themselves, right? Then I won't want anyone to come up and disrupt the panel with a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
bullshit just because they feel like, oh, well, we cool and you've been on my show and this, that, and the third. I've seen other people do it. I've seen how it worked out for them. And a lot of times it worked out for the better of their channels.
And
We
sometimes it was
we
too disruptive to manage.
and then that's when people repackage and rebrand and reconstitute their channel. I've always
Absolutely.
spoken about the 7 basic principles, right? You've heard me speak about this before. There are 7 basic principles that I believe men in general, people in particularly, people in particularly, men in general should come with: discipline, order, structure, leadership, guidance, and the ability to show some sort of restraint, right? And I just added that one in there. So if we're having that particular talk on that particular panel, on my particular show, on that particular day, and we're talking about the problems that exist between Black men and Black women and why we cannot constitute strong families, which will constitute ultimately strong communities that are much needed, right? If somebody wants to come up there and just start talking shit and they want to talk about everything else, no, we're not going to do it because I believe in sticking to the topic.
Okay. Yeah, it's important to be strict sometimes. How okay, that's important. That's structure is important. I think our people are
Discipline and
lacking
structure,
structure.
restraint. See, we like to a lot of times. What we like to do as Black people is pick and choose what the most important piece of it is. Discipline might be the most important piece of it to me, whereas comedy might be the most important piece of it to you. The two is like oil and water; it's not going to necessarily mix. See what I'm
Correct.
saying?
Absolutely.
So now, if we're just like we're engaged in this conversation right now. If someone was to come up here and be like, man, fuck all that shit. We don't want to hear that shit. Yeah, you motherfucker, that shit. Okay, what have you done? You just disrupted a whole conversation where hopefully someone, somewhere may receive something that may end up helping them, right? Say, hey, you know what? I never
Yeah,
thought about it like that.
yeah. Like example, the premise of what you intend your channel to be. In the event that some veteran has anxiety about utilizing their benefits, it can, they can receive guidance. But however,
Right.
if some disruptive soul pops on the panel and say, I ain't trying to hear about that, it becomes something that is devalued.
Right. And there's a measure of
The
control.
topics are designed because it is in accordance with the channel holder's values. When someone disruptive appears on the panel, it's up to that channel holder as a facilitator to decide whether or not this benefits their live stream. And
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it. And I'm not here to tell anyone what to do or how to operate. And people will charge you. They will try and charge you up as being guilty of that. I ain't trying to tell nobody what they can and what they cannot talk about. Or that ain't what I may say it during the course of a conversation, especially if we're talking about one thing. And again, somebody wants to talk about something else. I may
I
say,
beg to
hey,
differ now.
that ain't what we're talking about. We're
I,
talking
I
about
beg
this.
I beg to differ only because you and I have had panel experiences where I've observed you telling somebody, get a hold of your channel, get a hold of your channel. So
Exactly. I've
right.
said
So
that. I've said
how
that
can you
because
say that you're not here to tell somebody what
hold,
to
hold on,
do with
hold
their
on,
channel?
hold on, hold on, hold on. So you got to put it in the proper context because at the time we were having a serious conversation. And when that person came up there and when those people came in and out and began to disrupt the channel, my thought process, because the channel holder, was trying to get a grip on it. He was trying to get control on it, but he could not. Right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
as
That's
a
that
panel,
channel holders. That's that channel
hold
holders
on.
responsibility as a facilitator.
As a panel participant, Giving my opinion about the actions that were taking place, I felt was warranted. And I even said at that particular point in time, I ain't trying to tell you how to run your show, but I think you should get control on it. There's no reason why you should allow someone to come to your channel and fucking take over. There's no
Right,
reason
right.
why.
You know,
None.
I
And that
remember.
and then that person is study saying, hold on, wait a minute. Okay, y'all. Hey, hold on, wait a minute. Use the power that you have to remove the person or the people that are causing the infraction. That's all
Right.
I'm saying.
Facilitate, exactly. Facilitate in a way that benefits your channel.
So
I wanted
making a
to say
suggestion or making a suggestion of assistance is not trying to tell somebody how to run their
no,
panel.
no,
It's
I'm just
it's
making sure
simply
that
offering it's
I'm
simply
just making
offering
sure I'm just making
a
sure
way.
that your position is made clear. I don't
Yeah.
have any personal conflicts.
I
What
didn't
I'm
say that you did. I'm simply saying that the intent, since you brought it up, I'm giving you the answer, right? My answer as to why my actions were what
right,
they were. And
and
that's
that's
anywhere
fair.
I go.
Everybody's different.
Even here on this brother's channel. He allows me to come up from time to time when I'm and be over here and engage in conversation. If someone was to come in and then try to disrupt the conversation that's being had at the time, I would even say, "Hey, man, shit, come on, bro. We can't even get to the part of the conversation that we're trying to get to."
All right, in that
That's
vein.
not me telling him, "Drop him, get him out of here." No,
Yeah, exactly. You've never done that. You've never said drop this nigga, and you've never done that because you're not telling people what to do. You're offering your opinion about what you're observing,
because it's
and that's
stifling
the
the
difference.
conversation.
That's the difference, and I wanted that to be announced because we don't want misconceptions about your intentions out there. I think that when you do conduct your channel, it should be viewed as a valuable resource. Now, I'll say this, right? There was a time, because I love nutrition and everything about longevity, I was conducting myself in a way that people were talking about, well, Mela knows this and Mela knows that about nutrition. And I had to correct the damn father. Like, look, I am not your guru. I just went through some situations that motivated me to do a lot of research, and I'm just talking. That's all I'm doing. And it's just like you. It's like, look, based on what you have observed about how certain individuals' channels with regarding the panel participants were overwhelming, I guess, per se, that person, you interjected with your opinion. Like, it seems like you are not utilizing the power that you have as a channel holder, and maybe you might want to consider it's time to utilize that power. That's what I want people to understand. You're not a power hungry mongrel or nothing like that. And it's not where you're coming from. You actually want to assist people in gaining their rights to access the livelihood and lifestyle they deserve. That's what you're about. Everything that has been said about your personality is wrong. And
Well, I thank you for saying that. But I think what
okay,
happens also in a lot of this space, and a lot of times in this space, what happens is there's a lot of projection. A lot of people project things that are happening in their personal lives onto everybody else. They may be similar, but yet different at the same time, right? So that's one thing. There are a lot of there are a lot of people who project. You know what I'm saying? I always prided myself on not being a person to strike first. According to certain situations, I've never been one to just strike out and be disrespectful towards anyone until it happens to me, because I believe every person is afforded a certain amount of respect out the gate. And I'm going to give you that because I don't know you, you don't know me. I don't know who you are. Shit, you might be the president of some
speaking of
goddamn
respect,
bank
speaking
that
of
I'm trying to
respect,
get
we
a
have a new
loan from.
panelist. We have a new panelist. Speaking of respect, who do we
Okay.
have here? Oh, the new panelist left. Okay, resume.
All I'm saying is, I don't know you. You don't know me personally. You may be the very person that's putting out some information that I could use to get to the level that I'm trying to get to, financially,
Exactly.
spiritually, emotionally, what have you. And if someone's going to disrupt me from hearing what you have to say, it's a form of disrespect, in my opinion. I don't talk to the people on the panel. I talk with
Yes.
the people on the panel, but I talk to the people in the audience, because that,
Exactly.
in my opinion, that is who and where and what we should be
It,
doing.
it
This is
is
why
my
I
policy to say, in the interest of the audience that's listening, it is
right.
always my position to think of the audience
Well, this is
out
why
of
I've always
respect for
said
the
that we
channel holder, because they have
this
to accommodate the audience as well as the panelists.
well this is why I've always said that we, as people, giving an opinion on a given situation, we have to be extremely careful of what we say, not alone that, how we say it and why we're saying it, because there is some young person out there that's listening to us, or some older person out there that's listening to us, that's going to form an opinion or a viewpoint on the topic at hand. So I always
Hmm.
say we have to be, when you're talking to the public, you have to be extremely careful about how you're projecting it out.
And we
You
know
know what I'm
that
saying?
now, even though we didn't exercise self-restraint in our past, not just you or myself, many others had not conducted what you say is self-restraint. And for us to sit up here, well, not literally sit up here, however, for us to conduct this particular conversation about what we would choose to have going forward gets kind of, it depends on the hecklers, right? The hecklers, like, I remember when she did this, I remember when he did that. How are we to actually formulate that our true intention is to enhance our people, when people know from our reputations of being on panels to be bombastic,
But there's a
outrageous, over the
okay,
top?
so there's a difference when you're engaging in just a general, like we're having here, a general topic of discussion where it's open, right? There's a difference. Whereas if he had per se, and I'm sure he did at one point in time before the conversation morphed. I understand that. A lot of people don't understand that the conversation morphs. It goes all over the place, and sometimes it'll go back to the starting position. So when that happens, what I try to do is I try to state myself and make it clear, this is my intent. This is why I'm here. I'm saying this in accordance with whatever the topic of discussion is at the time. I'm not just here to call just to say some bullshit. And I've been accused of
Exactly.
that. And I'm like,
Exactly.
damn, how me, nigga? Come on, stop. Yeah, I had a motherfucker from the past. I was somewhere, and that person came up, was like, well, I heard you say. And I was like, yeah, but it was a bullshit conversation. We were having a general conversation. And we were talking bullshit. There's a difference. The conversation at the time was not a structured conversation where we were actually talking about anything of any serious or significant points of views. We were just up here laughing and talking and gandering and bullshitting. One of the late night channels that we had, late night, by 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was a particular person that was around, and I ended up seeing him. Well, I've been a year or so later. We ended up on the same channel having a discussion, and what he did was he tried to target me because in this discussion he was getting his ass ate up. The brothers over there was tearing his ass, or tearing him a new asshole. So he figured, let me find the weakest link. Let me try to go at this. Now you got the wrong one, buddy. You got me fucked up. I ain't. I'm not your patsy. Now I'll be
Right.
your huckabuck, but I'm not your patsy.
Right.
So he tried to bring up some shit. And I'm like, yeah, but you're taking it. You're trying to push a narrative and taking a narrative out of context.
Right.
See, we have a problem. Another problem that I've noticed since I've been in and around this space is that we actually have a problem of being able to cognitively understand what's being presented and said. We do, as black people. We have a problem with that. It's like our
Can you
ability to
announce where that problem comes from,
well,
according to
it comes
your understanding?
It comes from a lot of places, a lot of different places. It comes from the way that a lot of people were raised. It comes from their environment. There are a lot of different places that it could come from. The point of the matter is that it's present. And instead of looking at it and trying to learn from that, trying to fix it cognitively to understand and comprehend what's being said and what's going on, people tend to do what? As I said before, people are creatures of habit. So they revert back to what's easy for them. If we're having a conversation and maybe somebody says something that you can't grasp, it goes over your head. What do? You resort back to the same old arrested development stage in which you've been in the majority of your life.
Exactly. What I don't ever do is think for once that I have somebody figured out. And that is why, because we all come from different backgrounds. And a lot of times a person will find themselves comfortable on somebody's panel on a regular basis, thinking that they are, like-minded. I'll put it that way.
Right,
And
that's true.
then here comes the goddamn whammy. It's like, oh shit, they actually aren't like-minded. It doesn't mean that they're being wrong. They're just being themselves. It's just that when a person really gets in their ego, believing that someone is like-minded without actually knowing them. And you said, we don't know each other. Like, we haven't sat down at, lunches and made deals, and, we don't actually know one another. We're just talking. And to have this sense of imagination that just because somebody said a couple of phrases that, sit all tingly with somebody, that doesn't mean that they are in fact like-minded. And then when the whammy drops, like, oh shit, they're not who I thought they were, it becomes a problem. And next thing you know, you got this beef, right? That's what these young people are calling it, beef. And the beef starts from the ego-driven assumption that you thought you could relate to that person in the first place. And my suggestion is never assume that you can relate to someone's constitution of being. If you're a great conversationalist and you can just jump on a panel and just join a conversation, fine. Don't ever in your black ass life think that just because you get along with somebody that they have the same mindset as you. And I think that's why all these beefs get started. People were under the impression that they think like the person that they were getting along with for a period of time. Next thing you know, somebody steps on somebody's toes under the guise of, you will never know my pain. You will never know where the fuck I'm coming from. You will never understand me. And this is how I'm going to tell you about it. Get the fuck off my panel. And they drop you.
Well,
and it's like, what the fuck is that about? And and then people dwell on that, and then they won't pay back. And then the beef starts, and the beef starts, and the beef starts.
That's the low frequency setting that some people in
it
this
exists though.
in this
It
space.
exists.
That's what I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm simply saying that is the low frequency level that people have in this space. And here's what I mean by that. Let's think of it like this. Let's look at in this particular space in the YouTube streets, known as, I guess you want to say, the Black manosphere, Black womansphere, whatever you want to have, the Black YouTube streets. Let's look at the main contributors or the bigger channels, right? So imagine if, let's say, O'Shea Duke Jackson, I'm just going to call out a few. No, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. Let's say O'Shea decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to get with Obsidian. Hey, you know what? At the time, RIP to Kevin Samuels, I'm going to get with Kevin Samuels. Hey, you know what? At the time, I'm going to get with BGS. Hey, let's say that all these guys came together and created a digital space, right? So to speak, which that's what had happened initially. But if all of those guys who have pretty big, loud voices and big channels come together, they could just about almost, I won't say in its true state and form, monopolize the space, right? But what happens is any and everybody is allowed to come in and co-opt the space, right? I'm not talking about the Black manosphere per se, but I'm just saying, as you look at how things have materialized over the last 3, 4, 5 years now, that in fact what has happened. And the reason why is because there were no organization, number one, there was no discipline, number two, there was no sense of belonging, number three, because everybody did what? Everybody got greedy. It's not just the male content creators, it's female content creators out here as well. Right? Everybody got greedy. Everybody, and not realizing that YouTube is a vast space. There's enough for everybody to go around. There's enough clicks, views, money, donations to go around. But what happened is everybody wanted to monopolize the space for themselves. That's what breeded a lot of the infighting. So you would see two people that was once, or three people, or four people that was once working together within the structure of an organization now fall out. Don't fuck with nobody. I'll go it alone. I don't need you for nothing and nobody. When in terms, had they decided, let's work together, much like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King towards the end of their lives decided to do. See, when Martin kind of got on the same page as Malcolm, and Malcolm kind of got on the same page as Martin, the assassination happened. Right? When they had those some closed sit down behind the scenes meetings, and Martin started kind of sounding like Malcolm, and Malcolm started kind of sounding like Martin, and they decided, hey, you know what we need to do is come together. Yeah, we got two different organizations, but we'll be that much more powerful as we come together. And that is something that Black people within itself do not understand. Some, but not all, a few, but not most. People in general, but Black people in particularly. You see what I'm saying? I've watched certain content creators talk about a subject that's very volatile in this space, relationships, and they will add everything else into the equation. Well, the white man, and then you see this is why the woman don't respect the Black man because the white man. And then I've seen sisters do the same exact thing. Well, y'all up here complaining, what y'all gonna do about it? Why y'all letting the white man hold y'all?
Yeah,
And the truth
our
is,
synchronicity,
and the truth is, we're in 2022, and that's not even a main focus as it was back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
because
Because we're stuck in this state.
we don't regulate what influences us,
Well,
especially when it comes to
in
media.
this state of
And I would
arrested
say that
development.
our synchronicity as a people is off. It is due to melanin. It is our innate gift to synchronize. However, there
All
comes
skin
this
folks are not your
interrupt.
kin folks, Mella.
I
All
get it.
skin
I
folks are
get it.
not your
I
kin
get it.
folks.
I get it.
So
I get
so
it.
we cannot synchronize off of that. That's the reason why Tariq Nasheed is having some of the
I'm
issues he's
trying to
having.
make the point about
I'm sorry.
media influence,
I
right?
understand media
Media
influence.
influence that is somewhat seductive enough to become addictive throws off our synchronicity as a people. We have to prioritize getting together more. And I don't have faith that that's going to occur anytime soon because of the addiction to media.
No, it's because we're not a monolith of people. People in the Northeast, they don't think the same as
You don't
people in the
think
South.
media has
Hold
an
on.
influence?
I didn't say that it did or that it doesn't, and I'm sure that you can show accounts of it. What I'm telling you is, people on the East Coast don't think the same as people on the West Coast. People on the West Coast don't think the same as people in the Midwest. People in the Midwest, Black people, I'm talking about, don't think the same or have the same views as people in the South have. Period. That's why
See
when we
that okay, and that's divisive.
no, it's
That's
true, but it's
okay.
true.
Whether wait, let's engage forward thinking. All right, if that's okay with you.
It's fine
To
with me.
engage forward thinking means dropping the "you're not one of us, even though you are one of us" mentality. That so when you talk about people from LA can't relate to people from New York, what they can relate to is the fact that we are one another. But they don't see that because of the divisive media influence. The media
No,
is
they don't see that because of society, Mella. Because if you ask somebody, okay, let me ask you a question.
isn't media society?
Let me ask you a question. I'm talking about
It's
you got
not
to go,
media
but
society.
you have
Yes
to
or
go
no?
deep.
Could it be a
Yes,
combination of both?
but you have to go deeper. Let
It
me
could be
ask you
a
a question.
combination of both.
GM, let me ask you a question, Grandmaster Troll. Do you put sugar or salt or hot sauce on your spaghettis? Watch this. I'm gonna show
Sugars.
you a simple. There are some people who eat spaghettis with salt. They sprinkle a little salt. There are some people who put sugar. There are some people who put hot sauce on their spaghettis. Which one are you?
Neither.
Okay. On your sandwiches, for example, do you put mustard, ketchup, or mayonnaise?
Mustard and mayonnaise.
All right. And where I'm from, and I'm from California, South Central, I don't put mayonnaise on shit. It's ketchup and mustard. You see, even
What does it have
that's what
to do with him being a fellow black man?
I'm showing you because we have to. The reason why I'm
Yeah,
telling you this,
well,
Mother,
since I
is
put
because we
mayonnaise on my
have.
sandwich, I'm not black.
So because he
No, that's
doesn't put, I mean,
no. You're
like,
taking
what kind of sense does that make?
you're taking what I'm saying out of context, and you're not looking at it from a deeper level.
I'm listening
right?
to what you're saying.
Okay, if you're listening to what I'm
What's the
saying is,
context
I'm
of your
showing the
example?
context of what I'm saying is that we have a different thought process, not just as necessarily from a food standpoint, but from a way of life.
And this is what an overarching fiduciary responsible individual can, like for instance, right? When someone understands the nature of what a fiduciary is, right? And there is a board of people that are qualified to select that fiduciary to be responsible to hold funds in the interest of a group of people, that becomes politics in play. It's like, okay, there's this potentiality for politics and strife. Like, you don't want mayonnaise on your sandwich, you don't want mustard on your sandwich. Okay, there's a potentiality for that disruption to occur. However, once things are constituted amongst people who are like-minded and elect a fiduciary because he or she is qualified to govern what actually goes on according to the holdings that they have an interest to advance, be it real estate development, like just anything, fundraising, whatever. There has to be structure. It's not about mayonnaise or mustard on a sandwich. As your
No,
example,
I use that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I
Look,
use
I'm
that.
not.
I
I'm
use
talking
that as.
about.
Let me respond. I use that as a very baseline. Let's look
Okay,
at it as something.
I'm
Let's
not.
look at it as something.
Oh my
Let's look
God.
at it as something that's not baseline.
I'm not
Let's look.
trying to ask you to
Let's look at.
defend your
I'm not.
sandwich
But
construction
I'm
analogy.
going to. But
I'm
I'm
talking
going
about
to.
the differences that you're speaking of, the different
Right. Here's the
mindsets.
difference. Here's the different mindsets. You got some people back when the presidential election was going on that was like, fuck the Democrats, I'm going Republican. You had some black men that were saying, man, y'all crazy as a motherfucker, y'all gonna follow Donald Trump. That's an ideology of a thought wave that's being pushed down into the structure of how you eat your sandwich. You see what I'm saying? What political standpoint do you stand on? Are you
All
for
right,
Donald
all
Trump or
right.
are you against Donald Trump?
Okay, I
And
hear
and
how I
those are
gotta
the
handle
divisions.
this. I
Those
hear
are
how I have to handle this with you,
those
right?
are the divisions.
I hear how I have to handle this with you. I'm gonna bring up roller skating. Okay, there are many black people in our generation that used to roller skate, and we actually observed people who had different styles of roller skating. It didn't change the fact that we all had to travel in the same fucking circle. That's my point.
I understand what you're saying.
All right then.
In a perfect society, it should work that way. In a perfect society, I should be able to look at GMT and say, okay, I might not respect what you say or agree with what you say, but as a black man, I still respect you.
You better give me fucking credit for that brilliant ass analogy right there.
That's basically what you're
That's
saying.
a brilliant ass analogy.
What I
We
am
all
telling
traveling in the same
what,
circle as
but it
being
doesn't make
black, but we have different
Mela,
styles
it
of
doesn't.
thinking, and that's okay. As long as we're
All right,
under
you
the
got it.
roof of a
You got it.
person that's gonna look out for maintaining that circle that we're all traveling in, man. That's a brilliant analogy. I want credit for that shit right now.
All right, man, you got it.
You guys got
the whole point.
You guys got any final thoughts? I gotta go.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna wrap up by saying this. Thanks again, GMT, for letting me take part in today's discussion. I think it was
Now,
very
what were you saying about
classical
men being
discussion.
greater than women?
All I'm saying is this, right? you're not going to get one monolith of people. No group of people in the society is a monolith of people. This is why you have different political parties. This is why you have people who think differently. This is why you have some of the situations that are occurring in society today. Because people, human in general, men and women in general, black men and women in particular, are not one monolith. You're not going to get us all to think like, oh, well, you look like a black man, sound like a black man, it's a black
We're
man's
all
me.
wearing the same shoes. We're
It
black
doesn't matter.
people.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We
Oh,
don't
it doesn't
think the
matter.
same. I don't have shit in common with drug dealers, gangbangers, and niggas who like to shoot and
We're
scam.
all wearing the same. Look, man.
But I may look like them, but I'm not them. I'm
Look,
not cut
man.
from that
You
cloth.
want to
No,
be you want to be.
no,
Okay, I get
don't.
it. I get it.
No,
You want to
no.
be exclusive.
It's not about being exclusive.
You want to be exclusive.
Miller, what do you have in common with the strippers outside of being of the same complexion and
They
skin
got
tone?
a pussy, goddammit.
That's it. What other than that? Name it.
Some
Do they
of them
think
are
like you think?
mothers. Some of them are mothers.
Do they
Some of
think
them
like you
know
think?
what it is to try to figure out how they're going to feed their children. Like, I mean, I can find something in common with almost anybody because I have a spirit of compassion for my people. And you
Okay,
sound like
so-
you don't. You
so-
sound like you want to be
So
divisive.
there's that projection I was talking about. So what I'm telling you is,
Why do you want to be divisive comparing people? Like, why do you want to be divisive though?
why are you trying to project that onto me? I'm not saying divisive.
You're the
I'm
one
not
talking about
God
divisive
damn it.
examples.
Okay,
I'm not talking about divisive.
Mella, are you going to go because you look like them and you have a pussy and you a mother like some of them may be? Are you going to go get on the poll? Are you going? Are you going to go get on the
I
poll
said
with
the
them,
word
Mella?
pussy
Are
to
you going
shock
to
you.
go get on the poll with them, Mella? Are you going to go bust it down in the
Let
strip
me
club because you look alike?
let me ask you this question, Mella.
Stop that bullshit.
Is it divisive to shoot, kill, and rob people?
That's illegal. Yeah, that's illegal. I'm not
So I
talking
ain't got
about.
nothing. I ain't
I'm
got
not
nothing
talking
in
about
common with
people.
them.
I'm not talking about people who are conducting illegal activities.
Now my next question is:
He
people
said
who
strippers. Strippers are not conducting illegal.
I said strippers.
Activities.
I also said gangbangers, drug dealers,
No,
and
no,
dope
no, no,
slingers.
no. You said
I
strippers.
have nothing. I
You
said
said what do you have
gangbangers,
in common with a
dope boys,
stripper? And
and
because
I
I
also
found that question to be so
and
over
I
the top,
also asked
I
you,
said
and I
something outrageous in
and
response.
I also
That's an
asked you.
outrageous
You see,
example.
that's what I'm talking about. There's the projection. You want to say I'm being divisive. I simply
That's
made
an
a statement.
outrageous
I have
example.
nothing.
What
Okay,
do
you
I
just
have
want
in
to yell.
common with a
You want to
stripper?
yell. You want to yell and argue because you missed
Oh,
the
I'm
point.
sorry. I didn't know my mic
You
was
want to
that loud.
yell
I
and
apologize.
argue now because you missed the fucking point.
I
This is where
apologize
the
if my mic is
conversation goes
loud.
with you every single fucking time. You simply want to yell and get combative now because I don't agree with
No,
you.
I just
I
made
don't have
your.
shit in common with the niggas
I
that want
made
to.
your sandwich
I ain't got.
analogy. Look, your
It ain't got
sandwich
shit to do with that. We
analogy
far beyond that.
failed
Real
the
quick, and I'm
point.
gonna be done. Real quick, and I'm
Your
gonna be done.
sandwich analogy failed the point. And when I pointed it out,
It ain't
now
got
you're
shit. You want to
offended.
go back to some bullshit now. See, that's what I'm saying. Now
Well,
you want to
you're the one
revert
that
back.
made the bullshit.
Okay, got it. It was a bullshit analogy to you. My
Okay,
point is
then.
this.
There you go.
We're talking about, okay, fine. That you won that argument, Mella. That's what you want to hear me say. You won that argument. The point is, myself,
It's evident
GMT,
that I did.
my point is, myself and GMT ain't got shit. I don't want to be around niggas who want to smoke dope all day, wear their pants down around their ass, shoot, tote a gun, and kill other black people.
Those are
I'm not.
illegal
That's not.
activities.
That's not my. It's a way of life. It's a lifestyle.
We don't want to accept illegal people. Like
you're missing the point. I don't have nothing in common with them. Yes, they are men just like me. Yes, they may have children just like I do. Yes, they may be trying to figure out a way to feed their children. Yes, they got a dick and some balls between their legs. But I have nothing in common with scammers, dope dealers, gangbangers.
Those are illegal people.
It does, but they're still
Why are
black.
you bringing up? Why are you bringing up people that are active felons? We don't want active felons in our community.
Trying to say,
we don't want active felons in our community.
Y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this shit? But they're black, Mella. They're melanated people, Mella. So who's being divisive now?
We don't want active felons in our community.
Who's being divisive now? GMT, do you hear what I'm saying?
We do not want active felons in our community.
But they're black.
That's why the rule of law exists.
But they're black.
For harmony.
But
There's nothing harmonious Hold on, bro.
But they're black, Mella. You just
There's
talked yourself
nothing
into an ass whooping.
harmonious
You see
about
what
an
I'm saying?
active felon.
You
Your
just talked
point
yourself
is
into
mute.
an ass whooping.
There
They're
is
black, Mella.
nothing
You said that
harmonious
they're black.
about an active felon.
Is
Now
there
who's
something
being
harmonious about a stripper?
right? There's something
Is it
harmonious
legal?
about
Is it
yes.
legal? Is it legal?
In certain instances, in certain states, is it morally legal? Should a woman be doing it?
Is it legal?
No, should a woman be doing it?
Is it legal?
Should
Yeah,
a
it's
woman be
legal.
doing it?
It's legal,
I'm
but
talking about the law.
it's legal, but
See?
should a woman be doing it?
Yeah. Should a woman be doing it? Uh-oh, crickets.
Yeah, I'm gonna have crickets on this one. I can't
Crickets.
judge. I can't
Crickets.
judge how a woman feeds her. I can't.
And
You
I'm
know
not,
what? When it
I'm
comes
not
to
judging. I'm not
legality,
judging how
when
a
it
man
comes to
feeds his family.
legality, I can't sit up here and judge somebody how they legally conduct their livelihood. Just the
Right.
same
I'm not.
way. Just the same way. Hold on. Since you want to be disruptive, let me say this. Just like how these supplement companies are not, how can I put this? They don't have to disclose what the fillers are in their capsules of supplements. That is also skirting the morality clause. Okay. I'm not talking about the morality clause. I'm talking about what's legal.
Okay. Now, marijuana is legal in this country, in certain states, certain areas, right? Right? Am I not
Yes.
right?
Right.
All right. I have nothing in common with a person like Snoop Dogg who has a legal marijuana company. I have nothing in common with him. I don't smoke marijuana every day. I don't think that it is morally something that I want to do. He's a black man, yet and still. So you're saying that even when he was doing it illegally, I should give him a pass because he's a black man. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
That is not what I'm saying. There are two wings to every bird.
Exactly.
There are two wings to every bird.
I choose not to be around niggas, thugs, gangbangers, dope slangers, people who are involved in illegal activity, whether
There
they're
are
black,
two
blue, green,
wings
yellow,
to
purple,
every
or other.
bird. What matters is what's legal.
Okay.
It takes two wings to fly.
Okay.
Okay. Now
All right.
everybody knows that birds have two wings.
Right.
So you got people that are on the questionable morality spectrum of a wing, and then you have people who are upright and refuse to relate to the other side of the wing. That doesn't negate the fact that that bird can fly.
It does not. It also doesn't negate the fact that I'm not a gangbanger, so therefore I'm not hanging out with gangbangers. Don't want to be around them.
You don't
I'm
have
not
to
a
be
shooter.
a part of that
I'm not.
wing.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not a shooter. I'm not a killer. I don't want to be involved or be around that
Here
type
you
of
go with the
activity.
illegal shit.
Whether it be legal or illegal, I don't want to be around it. If you have a certain mindset, and this
I
is the
don't want to be
problem.
around that either.
Okay, so this is the problem. Then we're right, but from what you were saying earlier, from what
We
you were
have to
saying
go
a moment
forward.
ago, what
We
you
have
were
to figure out
saying,
a way to go
what
forward
you
as a people.
separation,
We have to figure out a way to go forward as a people.
separation.
How's the bird gonna fly?
I have to go. I have to go.
All right, bro.
Okay, peace out. Thanks for having us.
One.
All right. Thanks for everybody coming on. Thanks to all the people who supported Gabe, number 16, and Aunt T. It was really appreciated. But I have to go. Thanks for tuning into the show. Peace.